All right, welcome in. We are live back on a Friday night. The basketball world is a-cooking right now. We don't even know where to start. The NBA games are kind of close, so surprisingly fun for, I guess, a Friday night. We can get into that. But Michigan as well, too, is in a top 10 battle with Illinois. It's a 3-point game, fortunately, in favor of Michigan. Normally when you say like 3 for the deficit for a Michigan, the margin for a Michigan game, usually it's like a 30. Usually there's a double digits involved there with the way the season's been so far. But we expect them, I guess, to get a little bit tested against again a pretty elite Illinois team for this season, and in Illinois as well too. Like we said, the Duke matchup they had recently against number 3 Duke. I don't know. Did they play? I guess I don't know exactly what city they played that in, but it was a neutral court. I guess, same arena as well, too, if we were able to figure that out. But, regardless, they didn't have to go into Cameron Indoor. The Blue Devils didn't go into Michigan and get the upset win there. I guess, going into Illinois, probably, is that going to be more tested than just playing Duke in general? I don't know, but it is still, them having to face that environment as well too, and just gear up for the tournament run as we hit championship time here. So time to lock in, and hopefully the season is a successful result here, a good tournament run as well. Dusty May, of course, we have to shout out for the great season that he's had, but we do kind of like this Illinois team as well. Ooh, the little bank shot. Shout out. We tread lightly as we say this, but shout out to Brad Underwood. He has been, I think, the leader in recruiting the what do you say when you say the Vitches over there? But they've got the Stojakovic kid. I feel like they had I guess Kasparonis last year. Seems like Brad Underwood recruiting Eastern Europe pretty well. I guess I don't know exactly where the recruiting is happening, but again we say we tread lightly. It is what it is. But between Stojakovic's kid and then they do have this guy that has been moving up draft boards as well too. He has kind of settled into that tier 2 behind Dembasta, Peterson, Boozer. I guess Caleb Wilson, maybe kind of just like a separate tier guy at this point as well. Keaton Wagler, yeah, they have him listed as a top 10 prospect on Tankathon right now as well. So, and the Boozer piece of was, like we were saying, out of that game, kind of the deciding factor a little bit in that, we don't necessarily feel bad about losing to Duke because, again, like Cam Boozer's just objectively the best player in that game. And there is a little bit, like we're saying, of a separation here just in terms of the Tankathon board. But if you were doing talent tiers, I think you would say that, Boozer and Dembasta and, Peterson's in that group at this point, though. Maybe if Boozer starts getting mocked to the Kings, then we start getting out on that. But it's the guard. I think it is the guards to the Kings as well, too, because, like Chris Webber had a good career in Sacramento. I guess that team was obviously good at that time. Like Bibby was playing well. I guess, White Chocolate, shout out. But there is, I guess, Boogie Cousins as well, too. Like, DeMarcus Cousins was also a pretty, I guess, again, you say successful pick, but he was a very, very talented player, and you did see the talent emerge in the NBA. Like, he did hit the talent levels. So, the Kings were not very good, and I'm trying to remember the teams they had around him as well, too. It's just, shout out. What if, I guess you try to, was our guy Stauskas there with DeMarcus Cousins? It is what it is. But, again, they have had some success in Boozer and Dembasta, a little more wing, not necessarily like, power forward, back to the basket type of ordeal. I guess it does say Boozer is, quite bigger than Dembasta, 250 compared to 210. But, I don't know, I feel like, and I guess, at this point, we haven't necessarily watched them like draft experts. It is what it is, just catching the games on when we can. But, it does seem like Dembasta maybe has a little bit more of that, I guess, again, it's not necessarily post-up, but that kind of back to the basket play. It's that almost like that back to the basket where you're, you have your defender obviously on the hip, on your back hip there, and then you do almost that like low pound dribble and then turn around. I don't even really know what that move is because it's not really a drop step. It's just like a really strong half spin. If you're just able to kind of, again, sort of body and if you have your guy, pause, where you can control him, in the post there a little bit, and you can just half spin and just turn and move him and just, dunk it or strong layup, then, again, it is pretty successful. So I do feel like Dembasta has that in his archive, though I do maybe feel like I've seen that watching his high school highlights as well, too. So, he's going to be able to basically get any move that he wants there as well. I just saw a real, back through the algorithm again. It was, and we've seen it before as well, but it was the one where he's mic'd up. I don't know what tournament it is, but he's just mic'd up, talking to the refs, talking to everybody, shout out. I guess we haven't necessarily, gotten the ESPN compilation of him being mic'd up in that way. As much as it might be, do you say controversial, whatever, it's there's still entertainment value there. Hey, yo, get, if the man's talking smack to everybody, shout out. Let's see what's happening. But, yeah, regardless, I guess shout out Wagler as well, too, working his way up the boards. A cuff is, I guess, 7, another point guard. So they got Darius Acuff from Arkansas at 7, Nate Ahmet from Tennessee at 8, and then Keaton Wagler from Illinois at 9. But Ahmet is, kind of a forward there, you see. So Acuff and Wagler a little bit more competing for the, team needs, stuff like that. But, and Acuff, I have seen, he did have 40 in a game recently. So he might have some higher scoring upside. But I feel like maybe we've seen, who is the scorer that Charlotte just took from, was he at Arkansas or maybe he was at Alabama? But was it Nick Smith? And I feel like he's had some moments kind of off the bench. Obviously Charlotte now, is cooking. But I feel like that type of prospect, I don't know. Shout out. Obviously we're just we're just projecting. We haven't really seen too much. But yeah, 49. Hey, yo, I was gonna say, did I say 41? I would said 40. Just say that he hit 40 plus, but I was thinking 41 in my mind if I didn't say that. But yeah, 49 total, so basically 50 in that game. I guess, how many 30-point games? Only one 30-point game outside of that. There's a 29 in there. The college possessions, minutes, obviously, if you're, what was he at 23 a game? Actually, that was per 36, so per game he might be a little bit lower. But still, regardless, he is obviously high-level score per game, 22. I mean, Ayo, he's cooking. But Wagler, 18, 5, and 3. Hey, we just got to, I guess, lock in more as well, too, there. But, yeah, and like we were saying, the page, I'm pretty sure it's Peja. Do we look the roster back up and see? I don't think he's listed on the boards here. I guess we can look him up on the sports reference and see what's going on there. And I believe it's his first year. He's a freshman, so you have him and, of course, Melo's kid at Syracuse as well. And I think that, Illinois is just a better team than Syracuse. I don't know necessarily. I can't speak on, the talent of Peja's kid versus Melo's kid, though Melo's kid as well, too, I think has had some encouraging moments in his first year. But I think if you just traded him out, it might not be too bad. Andrej Stojakovic, 13 and 5. You see 6. Hey, yo, how tall is he there, Chad? 6'7"? Hey, it is what it is. We didn't make it up. But our guy Cayenne over in Syracuse, I guess 8 on the season. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But 13 against SMU the other night. I guess recently 10 as well. 13, 5 for 10 from the field, not bad. 2 for 4 from 3. Shout out. And I guess was cooking to start. 19, 18. And there's an 18 against Northeastern. Hey, yo, it is what it is. I guess so. He has kind of struggled recently. Shout out. And I guess, maybe we haven't heard of it. We just assume that, it's, and, he's a freshman as well, too. I don't know what his, how many stars he had, on the 24/7 ESPN rankings when he was being recruited. I don't know, I don't know if he was supposed to be a one and done guy in general. So I think just him being out there and getting a lot of minutes is, and being productive is encouraging as well too. But unfortunately has not been consistently getting double digits as of late. Yeah, only 5 a game. Hey, yo. It is what it is. So I guess Stojakovic's kid is better. Shout out. You do have to say that just looking at the numbers. But again, obviously he's got maybe some better teammates around him there as well, too. And Merkovich? Hey, yo. Is that actually his name? And Boswell has been playing well tonight also. So, and then they've got, I guess the brothers. Hey, yo, shout out. 2 7-foot guys with the last name Isvich. So I think they must be brothers. The one's got a number 13 and one's got a number 44. I don't know. I think do brothers always have to have like sequential numbers or similar numbers? I think the Harrison twins, I don't know if they do. They weren't sequential, but they have like a 0. Was it 0 and 5? And then, are all the Plumleys double digits? I don't know. So 13 and 44 is a little bit different there. And then also Petrovich. Hey, yo. Shout out. So what do you say? Yeah, I guess, do you say a lot of bitches over there in Illinois? I'm not sure. But they are 10th in the nation right now, and they are still within single digits. We're under 3 minutes here for the half. And I guess, we can't say too much about how we're watching this game. We're not going to snitch on ourselves. But we will say that the chat is very, they're thinking that Michigan is going to take this one, even if it is, again, only first half at this point. The chat has called Illinois a soft team. So shout out. Michigan's, hustle and physicality, the rebounding, them just flying around the court so far has, been what has been keeping them up so far. But, like we said, the NBA as well, too, is having some randomly fun games. This Cavs-Pistons one, mainly the most randomly fun one. Cade starts getting into MVP conversations. I don't know if we have to look back at the last couple of games and see what they have had. They had a very successful month. They've been successful since January. And I was seeing a stat of the team records in the league in general since January. And I know we were talking about the Phil Jackson rule recently with the 40-20, but they showed, again, if we didn't make it clear, the stats since January, and the records for, maybe it wasn't even since then, but regardless, the records over the span of times that they showed, the Pistons were like 18-6, and they had the best record in the league in San Antonio, Detroit, Boston, and OKC. I want to say we're all like 18-6 or 18-7, but all had 18 wins in that same amount of time. So there was those were the teams that, again, recently had the best record. So it was kind of like a half 40-20. So we did say that, again, like Boston was on the outside looking in there. I guess New York is winning right. Oh, they're at 22. Yeah, so they're cooked. New York can't win the title. I guess 22 losses, 37 wins. So they're not at the 40-20 for the season. But maybe, again, if you cut like a certain segment of the season, maybe you can find a 20-10 situation and get halfway there. But I think, again, shout out. Obviously, the rule has worked in the past. But the Cavs are basically without their starting lineup tonight. Mitchell is out. James Harden is out. No Mobley. Allen is the lone, OG kind of starter guy that is left at this point. Oh, Mobley is playing tonight. Shout out. We're not locked in. Michigan's keeping us too distracted. It is what it is. So Craig Porter, more minutes is never a bad thing, except he is 0 for 3 tonight. Shout out. So it is what it is. But Proctor, our guy Tyrese Proctor checking in. I feel like he's been kind of, a low-key minutes guy for him this year. So they have, of course, moved on from Garland. And like we're saying, no James Harden tonight. And he has had, again, obviously good games for him since he has been there. But I haven't necessarily, it hasn't been, I would say, a standout dynamic. I would say Harden specifically on Cleveland. And it is kind of crazy that just looking at the team, looking at the vibe of the team, and they are a team as well, too, that in the past, even if they've had Garland and Mitchell, that combo going, back the last couple of years, they could rest those guys and the bench would still play really, really well. And they have brought in Schroeder recently as well, too. He has been an impact guy, and he's been good on defense tonight as well, too. I don't know if we can get his minutes on Cade. Hey, yo, our guy Craig Porter. Oh, he just got the stop on Cade. Cade had him posted up and had him had a layup opportunity there, but he just missed it. So we could definitely check his numbers out as well too for tonight. It has been a little feisty, but yeah, for James Harden, he's 19 points a game in Cleveland, 7 games, 49% from the field, 48% from three. Hey, yo, he is making everything right now. It is what it is, so he's just not taking a lot of shots. Shout out. How many minutes per game is he at? He is at 32, but again, it's only been 7 games. You know, hey, obviously the trade deadline was recently as well. But yeah, it does seem like it has been just more of like, okay, finally this is Donovan Mitchell's team. And again, it was never not necessarily Donovan Mitchell's team, especially this past year. But I guess it is what it is. I don't, was a little bit of that, the stink of the Garland situation hanging over it. And, again, not to say that, I guess, we didn't read too much on the Cleveland blogs. I don't know how stinky it got over there. It did seem like, it was like pretty straightforward. Like, again, they made it work as long as there was definitely an opportunity that core could have competed for a title. So they were like, okay, I guess we have to stick this out professionally to try to see if we can win. And I guess, is that a successful formula, or is there need to be actually, some type of, general chemistry situation going on there? Who knows? But again, this year, it did seem like with the group that they had assembled, that upside was just probably not going to be achieved. And then a move was going to have to be made. So, again, I can't necessarily say that it would seem like, again, Garland, bad apple in the bunch, spoiling the whole team. But there is just like I guess it is what it is. Like we're saying, a newfound life with the Cavs. Their record has been better. Mitchell has been still, a top 10 scorer in the league. And Sam Morril is back as well, too. Maybe that's just the biggest factor of this all. Where has Sam Morril been this year? I feel like he was like the sleeper guy for him last year. It might not be like a points per game figure, but his efficiency, or I guess when he's on, when he is making threes, of course, what do we start saying? But Sam Hauser on the Celtics does have, of course, similar impact when they are in the game. 46. How come Morril has Morril been in the 3-point contest? Hey, yo. 46, I guess 27 going back to 27 or 22-23. He was 27.8 a game. 27.8% for 3. Sorry for that stretch. But 37 last year, I guess 46. How many games this year? 36 games played, 24 started. Hey, yo, shout out. So I guess he has been cooking this year. Hey, yo, it is what it is. More Cavs. We need to watch more Cavs. Shout out. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, get Mobley in the rotation a little bit. That's what happens when Charlotte's been too entertaining. And you just throwing on Charlotte games. And you know us, chat. Ayo, you can check the tapes. We get caught up watching Wizards games. It is what it is. I was going to throw out other bad teams that we watch as well, too, to kind of justify it. But it's not that. It's just for some reason we like watching the Wizards. I guess, you only have to watch them for a quarter and a half to 2 quarters, 3 quarters. Ayo, yeah, are we saying we're sitting down watching full Wizards games? Ayo, who is? But can we get like a league pass, like watch time stats for each team? It can be a little unfair because you can watch a game via both teams' broadcasts. So the game itself, if everybody is watching the game via the if everybody's watching the Wizards game via the opposing team's broadcast, then it's like, okay, I guess people are still watching the Wizards. Does that speak more to the Wizards broadcast team? And I think the Wizards broadcast team is fine as well too. Ayo, shout out. But I'm just saying, do we need to get like a minutes watched for each team? I think maybe the Pacers would be down there as well too. Pause for watch minutes. There would be, of course, I guess maybe Milwaukee this year. No Giannis. Who are you really tuning in to see? Because it is kind of that random. At least with who do we say? At least with Indiana, I don't know who you could really talk yourself into. We have to pull that roster back up and see, who were the, I guess, when Nemhard's playing, or, Siakam night to night. And I feel like Indiana fans just like their team is different than Milwaukee. Again, like Giannis is requesting a trade. He's like actively getting a divorce from the team while they're playing the season. Indiana's just like banged up and hurt, and everybody's injured, and it is what it is, and they've traded guys, so it's just like the team is just like having a bad luck year. It's not like the team is again dysfunctional, falling apart per se. Hopefully not yet. Again, maybe a bad year disguised, dysfunction just disguised as a bad injury year, like we're saying. But I guess Ryan Rollins, like our Bucks fans, like at least we'll go to games to watch Ryan Rollins. Maybe he has 10 points tonight, 4 for 6 from the field. So shout out. Milwaukee is now down by 16 points. So we'll see if he can power a comeback here. Pause. Kevin Porter Jr., I don't know if he's attracting a crowd. AJ Green. I mean, it is sold out tonight, so we can't. I mean, they just did the little like free throw. You can see the player, of course, getting ready to line up the free throws. It does seem like the arena is pretty full. Actually, some of the courtside seats are the struggling ones. Maybe that's the secret now. The fans are going to the games. The games are affordable now. Hey, no Giannis. Fans can finally go to games. This is the new era for the NBA in this economy, chat. We actually want players to take games off. It means the ticket prices will go down. Then I can actually go see the game. It is what it is. Oh, Josh Hart, tough missed three. Oh, so bad he got his own rebound. Hey, yo. Who are we calling out there? Turner, Rollins? I feel like a couple people kind of let that rebound slide through. Pause. And I don't know, again, we kind of, like we'll respect Miles Turner's game here. We respect Kyle Kuzma. Obviously, he's better than us, so it's like, wait, shout out. But, obviously, are we a top 700 basketball player in the world? Probably not, Chad. Or in the country? I guess that's it. How far down the rankings would we have to go? Can we get ChatGPT to rank every person in America via basketball skill until they get to us? We might have to pay for an upgraded version for that. I don't know. I don't know. Again, we tread lightly. Obviously, I wouldn't want to compromise any data privacy or anything like that. But I would be curious, like Batman in the Dark Knight. Obviously, again, he had the technology to destroy the surveillance system that he had set up right when he didn't need it. But the Joker was testing him, man. It is what it is. Like he had to, he had to really pull out all the stops. He had to call all the trick plays against the Joker in that movie. It is what it is. So, again, he's not a guy that's going to resort to tapping into everybody's phones, Big Brother's watching situations. But if you got to catch the Joker, you got to catch the Joker. It is what it is. So if we have to figure out where we're ranked in the basketball rankings, we just have to figure it out, chat. Hey, yo. I don't know how we, again, what the equivalent is there, but we'll see what the ChatGPT can cook up. I'm almost afraid to ask it. Hey, yo. It's just going to say it can't rank everybody. It is what it is, but I can get, it'll just rank like the top 7, it'll just give us like LeBron and Jerry West or something, but again, maybe in an advanced version, if we really can figure out the prompt, then maybe we can figure out how to make that happen. But I mean, you just have to consider, of course, like we're saying, every level of basketball where people are actively playing basketball is automatically a better basketball player than us. It is what it is. Even if I would say that, you go to the park, you go to a pickup run, I think I can get out there and not necessarily, be embarrassing. But, again, everybody that is actively training and actively I guess is this conditioning? Is it conditioning included? Is this purely skill, chat? If it's a purely skill-based ranking, maybe that makes us lower. I don't know, but maybe we might need the effort to honestly, that's where we make our bread and butter, the rebounds. No, I don't know, but I guess, if it's like a putback attempt, I do like a, not necessarily a putback dunk, but you can get like a tip, pause. Whoa! You can get like a tip in as well too. So those are always, if you can time that right, that's always fun as well. And again, even if you're just flying in for like the, catching a layup off the ground and then putting the layup back in, any air that you can get in a basketball game is it's good air. It is what it is. So yeah, you're always trying for that. But I think that is there 2,000 active basketball players in America. And I guess, shout out as well too. I guess I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I wasn't including everybody when I was saying, active basketball players, but I'm just going to reinforce the fact that, we got to include everybody. So 4,000 AO, 6,000. Is there 6,000 active basketball players? I guess the WNBA is a smaller league. AO, and I guess again we try lightly, but well, yeah, we're not saying we're better than the WNBA, chat. Ayo, it is what it is. Are there any players in the WNBA that we could? Now again, now we're into sketchy territory. But that could be like a, is there anybody in the NBA that you could, get one-on-one as well too? Pause. It just could be, is there anybody in the NBA? And I guess their athleticism would, of course, just be the thing that would be overwhelming at the end of the day. But could their skill level be such that you could probably get it to work? If you were competing in specific skills, of course, that's a different thing. Like, could you take a professional basketball player in a free throw contest? Like, yes, there are probably basketball players that you could win a free throw contest. And I don't know, do we have to double check Jericho Sims' free throw percentage? He might actually be okay. But, again, like you get DeAndre Jordan lined up out there. It is what it is. Like we were mentioning during the All-Star break, Kevin Hart tied Draymond Green in a three-point contest during All-Star Weekend in like 2016. So it is possible given the right scenario. I guess, yeah, if they had played one-on-one, Kevin Hart would have gotten cooked by Draymond. It is what it is. I guess just because, again, Draymond's just, such a better athlete. Like, it just would have. And that honestly might be the detriment of the NBA player in that situation. A likable, funny guy like Kevin Hart's going to draw a couple of fouls. It is what it is. But, again, maybe Draymond's trying to, and Draymond specifically, he'd be trying too hard on defense. It is what it is. So he'd get a couple going in for the turnover type steals and then, just end up fouling Kevin Hart like crazy. But maybe top 5,000. Maybe the top 5,000 basketball players. And again, if we open it up to the world, pause, then that's the I guess I don't even know how to calculate that fairly. I would, I'm falling down the list too far at this point. It is what it is. But just for this country, the Western Hemisphere, how many basketball players are, if you don't have to travel to this, I guess, what are we saying? I was going to say by ship or something, by plane across the sea. If you don't have to travel across seas to get here, then is that included in our ranking? I don't know. But, yeah, maybe, again, we need to find a favorable amount so we're kind of, decently ranked. But it's still like, it's not like, okay, you're a top 1,000 basketball player in your own city. It's like, yeah, I would hope so. I would hope that there's not 1,000 basketball players in this city. There's not 1,000 people better at basketball in this city. But who knows? There might be. There genuinely might be. It's pretty popular. A lot of people do play. And again, we're not necessarily going to be a 1% athlete on any park that we walk on. So it is going to have to be a skill-based thing. And if it is, or, like a teamwork-based thing, but then you're not really, again, are you making your way up the rankings? Then you're making your way up the park trade value rankings at that point. You're maybe not necessarily making your way up, but you're not making any All-NBAs in any of the park games. But, do you want to make All-NBA or do you want to keep playing? Sometimes you have to make up your mind, I guess. But, either way, I think we might be in the top 10,000. Chad, it is what it is. I think, are we in the top 10,000? Are we in the top 10,000 for basketball players? Oh, screw it. It is what it is. We have to know. We have to know. We have to get our skills up this summer, Chad, if we are not in the top 10K. And then what's a good goal to try to aim for as well, too? What's realistic? I don't even know. How does it even going to evaluate our skill as well, too? I'm not even sure. Are we going to have to submit a video to ChatGPT and be like, hey, can you compare this to like a, how does this compare to where Buddy Hield's at right now? And are we, I guess we're probably never going to be a better basketball player than Buddy Hield. But can you rank the top 10K basketball players in America? And then maybe we can see if our name pops up in this list. 10K. Oh, basketballs? Oh, no, we want players. Hey, yo. No, players. We don't want necessarily 10,000 different basketball brand rankings. That would be probably a little too intense. Ayo, pause. I think we might have broken it even before we entered the question. It is what it is. It's not even accepting the prompt anymore. It's like, no, I don't even want to try. Okay, wait a second. We'll refresh and see what we get here. Because today was like, hey, yo, now we're, weather talk on the REMINGTOM pod. But it was a crazy day. It was a crazy day. It is what it is. We got home from work and we were like, do we have to just set aside all responsibilities and just go to the court and just get some baskets? You have to get some hoops up? Hey, yo. But I guess, and especially since it was like, it's a standout day of the week. You get to the summer, not say that you start taking, your days taking your days for granted in the summer. Hey, yo, once a kid, never to take your days for granted in the summer. But regardless, you do have the thought of like, well, I guess if I don't get him out, if I'm not able to get out today, then maybe, same time next week, potentially, if it happens again, or, tomorrow, maybe again, maybe the ability to find the time, I guess is what we're saying, is obviously much more realistic versus at least still here in the Midwest. It has been, I guess the basketball weather's been up and down. It is what it is. It'd be more just like getting an area cleared for snow and then like wind and stuff like that. I guess it has been, if it's in like the 20s, it's doable. Hey, yo, 20s is pretty cold for hooping. If it's in the 30s and the sun's out in like the afternoon, then it's actually not too bad. It does just kind of, it's more like, actually conditions for like the basketball itself at that point. But yeah, yo, we were thinking about going and getting the skills up, trying to move into the top 9K. Hey, yo, I guess, players, we got to see where do we rank. I guess I'm assuming it already knows. It just has to know it just knows who everybody is. It is what it is. So we'll see if we can figure out how this is going to work. NBA, okay, top 50 players in the world is going to be, we're going to need more than that. Okay, college, yes, high school. AAU, chat. Oh, no. I'm assuming we could go into an AAU game and, a legit AAU game. You see some of the highlights on the Instagram, the ball is life, the things like that. And it's like, hey, yo, what kind of recruiting's going on here? But millions of AAU players. It says there's millions of AAU players, but I guess we did say everybody that is actively playing is better than us. So does that mean we're worse than the millions of AAU basketball players? Hundreds of thousands of varsity athletes. I'm going to take a stand and say that I'm a better basketball player than every junior varsity basketball player, but then there's going to be some like crazy junior varsities out there where it's just like, varsity, it's like the Duke Blue Devils of, it's like what is does IMG Academy have a JV team? Maybe that's, it's just a varsity school. It is what it is. Or, something like that. Is, Monteverde, what's Sierra Canyon's, JV team? Like they might, I guess LaMelo was on varsity the whole time, but is there varsity or is there JV team just like any old JV team and it's just still, it just still sucks. It is what it is. But okay, millions of age, grade, level. Oh, chat. We start telling us our stats and our achievements. I guess, well, we can just lie. 30 points per game. I guess in the park, in a game to 11. Let's see. I don't know how we can necessarily translate these stats, but okay, we'll go in the park in a game to 11. I think I could probably, I guess, anybody that's going to be responsible for all the points is obviously going to be too active in that game. I think it could happen. Again, that's a specific game as well, too. I think on average in the park, game to 11, or like at the rec. Okay, I guess park/rec, because I think it is different. The rec games do tend to get a little bit better because it is, a little bit, at least here in the Midwest, a little bit more concentrated. Like you go down to, the university rec center and you're basically going to get like an intramural to, I guess, a junior, I would say like a Division 3. You might get like a Division 3 level run. I don't know. in a rec center pickup game, I guess if the right people show up. But at the park it's going to be different. At the park, you can make you can get your jersey in the rafters pretty easily. I think if you show up to a random park game. But then again, obviously in major cities that have iconic basketball venues, those things don't just become like show up to a park and play situations more so. But I guess game to 11, game to 21, game to 11. Do we get again 7 points, ones and twos? 7 points is quite a bit, but maybe I guess to say that you're averaging 7 points a game, because I gotta be honest, like I do like to pass. It is what it is. Am I a good guy, chat? Shout out. Am I don't call me a giver. I'm just saying that I do like assisting. I guess I like passing in the way that Steph Curry likes passing, where I guess I like throwing crazy passes. That's what it is. It's not. It is assisting is fun. Like if you're gonna throw a pass that's a good pass, it might as well be. You might as well get it on the stat sheet. So you're gonna need your teammate to make the shot to help that out. But throwing a crazy pass is pretty sick, and it's not even always like a behind the back as well too. Sometimes it's the angle, and again, if you're trying to throw at complicated angles, you're gonna probably turn it over a couple times. It is what it is. So I don't know if I have to include turnovers. But, again, I don't know if I want to score like 9 points in a 11-point pickup game as well, too. Ayo, that's no fun. It is what it is. So, get a couple of rebounds. A 4.3 assist game, again, that's kind of responsible for a lot. If 2 of those assists are for 2, then that's 5 points plus 4 points. Again, that's 9 of the 11 Ayo responsible for. So that's us being like constantly a point guard as well too. I don't know. Maybe we go 3.5 points per game. I don't know how this. I don't know what correlates here, chat. Is 3.5 to 11 like 18 to 36 or a 36 per minute stretch? I don't know. Pause. But hey, second half here for this Michigan-Illinois game. Michigan's still up by 6. Make it 8. As they get the little hook shot to go. Shout out. Okay. As long as, as long as everybody on Michigan is better than us, then that's what matters. But, okay, 3.5 points per game. Let's go 2.5 assists. And then I get a lot, I guess, again, in the park games that we play, people don't rebound. What we got to say, a scouting report of the Midwest, not a lot of rebounding. So I'm going to say, and that goes offense and defense, but, we'll go 4 rebounds a game. And then I think I can get a steal or a block. I don't think I'm going to get a block every game, but I think I could be, 0.8's not bad in a per 36. So I think I might be at a 0.8 blocks per game. And I guess I don't really get steals. It is what it is. I like block shots. Shout out. But can we submit this? Wait a second. We have to refresh again. What's up with the GPT? Hey, yo. Right when we need you, we're doing serious research over here, and it's not keeping up. It is what it is. So we'll see. Hopefully this time it submits, and we're able. Okay, if we drop our stat line here, can it tell us where we rank? Can it tell us where we 3.5? This is just an estimate. 3.5 points a game. Game to 11, probably ones and twos. Yeah, block in there. 4 rebounds. Hey, yo, once again, think we're like, 6'10". Stat line screams glue guy, defensive big, hustle wing. See, yeah, I don't defensive big. Obviously, hey, yo, it is what it is. More like a, I don't know, a Malachi Richardson type. Could I say a Malachi Richardson? I guess I'm not better than Malachi Richardson. Hey, yo. You're probably in the top 35 to 45% of regular park players. Hey, yo, see, I'm trying to be, nice with the stat line here. In average points per game, we're I guess I'm going to be more selfish in the pickup hoops. Get my stats up, chat. Hey, yo, it is what it is. Let's be honest. Top 1% elite. Okay, wait, to say, where does this rank at U.S. park level runs? Top 1% elite, high school, varsity, former college players. 10% strong varsity starters, serious AAU hoopers. Top 30%. Solid rec players, good IQ, consistent impact. Hey, yo. Strong varsity starters, serious AAU hoopers. What's a serious AAU hooper? Is that a top 100 on 24/7, or is that just a general AAU? Is that just like a, because again, like a travel team in the Midwest, I mean, no disrespect. It's just, how many guys from Iowa that you can think of the guys from Iowa in the NBA. That's the thing. I guess, you can connect guys to cities all the time, obviously. But, the Murray twins are like the two players that are actually legitimately like born, raised, again, I'm talking NBA, obviously shout out Caitlin Clark there as well too. But, again, NBA factor, there's just no AAU names a lot of the time. Like Marcus Page I remember Marcus Page, of course, had an iconic North Carolina run in college. And there was another guy as well, too. Tiger Campbell. Tiger Campbell is also from the area or was, like, around the area. But I just know people in the area, they claim this is Tiger Campbell's hometown. Shout out. So it is what it is. But, again, there's not a ton of guys. So I'm just saying, like, the level of AAU competition is just not the same as, again, you're getting in some other states, some other major cities. So I would assume that, again, equivocally, I would be, we'd be, I'm throwing my friend group into this here. We're all on the same level now at this point. It is what it is. But, I would assume that if our friend group had to roll up on an AAU team, actually, we might get cooked. It is what it is. We're all working. We're all working guys. Che, you get a restaurant worker and a UPS host out there. A UPS driver. Hey yo, against a couple of AAU teams, we might get smoked. It is what it is. But so how you jump into the top 20, bump this up 6 to 7 points a game. Keep the rebounds. Keep the block. Tighten the handle and the shot. Hey yo, how does it know we can't dribble? It is what it is. Tell the height, chat. Hey yo, now I guess should I just say 6'7"? Should I just say to increase the upside? We're still paused. Do I say still growing? I don't know. Hey yo, it's a sobering reality, chat. It is what it is. It's fine. Top 30 to 45% of regular park players. It says you're probably in there. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. You're probably kind of mid. It is what it is. So shout out. We got to get in the gym. We got to get on the pickup court, and get the skills up. We just have to be. Hey yo, we got to pick a target. Who do we want to be better than? I don't know. I guess if is this a better stat line than like Kevin Hart? Like we're saying, celebrity game. 3-point contest against Draymond Green. I'd like to think that, again, just in terms of a matchup-based standpoint, hey, yo, can we take Kevin Hart into the post if we need to? I mean, he doesn't want us making that joke. It is what it is. He's like, okay, everybody and this guy over here. But, regardless, if push goes to shove on the court, hey, yo, you got to shove. It is what it is. So, we got to post up Kevin Hart if we have to. If all else fails, we have to post up Kevin Hart and try to shoot a fadeaway over him. It is what it is. But let's see, is this and Kevin Hart now versus Kevin Hart then? Again, I guess what's fair? Do we go Quavo? Who's in our sights? Lethal Shooter? Oh, see, I didn't even think about like Instagram influencers. Oh, hey yo, like yeah, we'd get cooked by Lethal Shooter. Hey yo, he'd be pulling up from the opposite 3-point line every time. He might actually be too annoying to play with. Just be like, bro, just take a normal shot. Jeez. But, like, all the Dude Perfect guys, speaking of crazy shots, like, are the Dude Perfect guys good at actual basketball? Like, again, if our squad pulled up, maybe we need to start this. Does this summer need to be the summer of the Rem and Sam Challenge? We'll see what we can get going, chat. Hey, yo, I don't know how strong our influence is going to be if we, start sliding into these DMs over here. But we'll see what we can get going. The Rem and Sam Challenge, we need to challenge some of these crews. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. Hey, yo, because I'm throwing it out there right now. I got 5. We can pull up anytime. Have we played in like 3? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Have we hooped in 26? Who cares? Let's make it yes in the future. We'll get there. I just saw. Now I'm thinking about another clip that I saw today. where I don't even know if this, I guess the quote has nothing to do with with it. I think the guy was just like, I talk to whoever I want to talk to. So, we'll play wherever we want to play, chat. Hey, yo, we'll play all these squads. The Dude Perfect squad would be that's the first one, though. That is the first one we have to challenge. Because, again, that's a good test of, like, good athletes for sure. And they do have literally, they call him the tall guy. They do have the tall guy who, speaking of posting up, he might be a problem. I will admit, I'm not going to get switched on to the tall guy. It's probably not going to go well. It is what it is. But, again, good athletes, but are they old? I don't know. But, again, are they like legitimate? They are probably a legitimately good basketball team. But again, I don't know, like, their playing backgrounds or, again, just right. Like, it seems attainable. They seem beatable, chat. Hey, yo. It is what it is. It seems like a legit run to 21. I think we got him. Best of 3, best of 5. Hey, yo, best of 5. I think I don't know. We're all getting kind of old at this point. Best of 3. I guess 21, best of 5. You're doing that in a day. Hey, yo, that's more than that's more than the NBA. It is what it is. What are we scoring? Because you have to hit 21. Somebody has to hit 21 in all 5 of those games. So somebody's going to be at, hey, yo. More than a low scoring NBA game. It is what it is. But yeah, we're calling out Dude Perfect. Hey, yo, Sam didn't know we were calling out Dude Perfect. Shout out. But yeah, we can pull up. We can pull up. I think we got him. Chad. It is what it is. Again, obviously we can't drop the highlights, but I did see I did see a thing about recruits now generating their own highlights via AI, which is not even something. And this is how you know that it's like, hey, yo, they're just like, I'm forward thinking. And like these people are legitimately innovators. Like, this is how you know we're not an innovator. Because I didn't even think about AI generating high school. Speaking of, I could be getting offers right now. I shouldn't even be sitting here talking about, making the case. I should just be making up AI highlights, getting offers. I should be at Syracuse. I should be playing for the Mason Blue right now based off of my AI highlights. It should be like, we should be contacting the Remington. I think you should go to 24/7 Sports and be like, hey, yo, I didn't even know he had eligibility left still, but he's somehow number 1 in the recruiting rankings. Have you seen his highlights? It is what it is. So, or the Tankathon rankings, or I guess whatever. But I guess we could just generate our own NBA highlights. Hey, yo, or even better yet, we could generate like some highlights of like what was that Lithuanian league that LaMelo was in? Or I think we could even go NBL and get quite a few people convinced on the American side. Because again, us as well too. Like I fall for AI stuff all the time. I think I'm just the guy now that falls for AI stuff in the family as well too. I was hanging out with my brother the other day, and I showed him a guy, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is AI, but I wanted it to be real, which is maybe that's just the secret to AI in general. It's just like, you just kind of want it to be. I was like, hey, maybe it's real. Who, I hope it is. So it's like, I want to be able to make fun of my brother and just like for this clip to be real. But it's like, actually it's not. It is what it is. But it's like, okay, now 2 clips in a row you've shown him have been AI. Show him a real one at some point. Shout out. But again, we need to be we need to be cooking up. Could we get into the we couldn't get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Like, what's the craziest basketball achievement we could get at this? But I guess this is a different topic, different conversation from the ranking. But what is the craziest basketball achievement we could get based on just generating AI highlights for ourselves? Hey, yo, I think it would eventually, of course, get found out and taken away, or I don't think it would ever. Could we get it to the level where it got announced, and then maybe they were like, wait a second, what's happening here? And then they figured it out. I don't know, but yeah, hey, yo, like we're saying, we do. I think we're ready to pull up on any of these squads out there. I guess again, I don't know how many guys are running 5s, but if it has to be 3s, or if you have to go, if we have to mix a couple of squads at some point, then so be it. But maybe I feel like we need like a movie or a TV show cast at some point as well too. Like I was gonna say, do we want to play Michael B. Jordan in a game of basketball? I don't know if we want to play Michael B. Jordan. I don't know if we want to play a guy named Michael Jordan in a game of basketball. Even if it is Michael B. I think, and Kugler was in the NFL, or not the NFL. I was gonna say he was a football player. Hey, yo, I think he played for Sacramento State, I want to say. So, again, a legitimate scholarship football athlete, Division I athlete, like that alone is going to be, that's a challenge. Hey, yo, I'm probably not going to be keeping up there. I think Michael B, shout out. The man is, was I the one training to play in Without Remorse? I don't know if that's a basketball movie, but I think, again, speaking of post skills, Michael B. Jordan's Without Remorse training regimen there's gonna be some crossover there between that and the NBA arena. I don't know, Delroy Lindo might be a little slow at this time. Maybe Delroy Lindo's coaching, I don't know if he's playing, but shout out. He might just be like old man baseline, turn around, fade away, Adrian Dantley. Maybe he's not running back and forth on defense all the time, but there's like 2 or 3 like, hey, yo, Delroy Lindo didn't run all the way back on defense, but now he's getting the layup going the other way because it's a fast break type of situation. Then you got Miles Canton. I think that'd be tough. That'd be tough because they are taller as well too. So, again, obviously we're not like, Division I athletes just in general. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But I'm sure who's the vampire guy, Jack O'Connell. I guess Jack O'Connell and Delroy Lindo, we're getting them in pick and rolls, chat. Hey, yo, we're hoping that they can maybe O'Connell's like the sneak, it's like the Woody Harrelson situation. Maybe he's the best player on the team. Who knows? But who else in that movie would be, I guess, hey, yo, anybody in that movie could be good at basketball. I don't know why we're only naming, why we're only naming the guys. Hey, yo, Jamie Lawson can get out there and cook us. It is what it is. But I guess I don't know what TV shows are super popular right now. Who was starring in Pluribus? Hey, yo, people were talking about that for TV shows. Oh, what's that Game of Thrones show that just dropped? But doesn't it have that has that guy with the, hey, yo, I gotta guard that guy and his massive hog at the same time? No, thank you. I'll take the loss. I'll take the loss. It is what it is. Maybe that'll be the free throw contest. What's that guy? I was going to just call him Sir Hammer. Hey, yo, that might be a pause. But I want to say it was like Sir Armand something. Sir Armand and Hammer. Hey, yo, I don't know. But maybe we take on the cast of the Knights of the Seven Kingdom and see. Again, I've only heard rumors. The word on the street is this guy's out there packing. It is what it is. And that's how Chad. That's how is like, obviously, again, it was on screen, I guess, but the people are talking about it. Hey, yo, like how many guys get into the people are talking about it territory? Hey, yo, again, the names right at the top of the bat, and I mean, shout out to those guys. But, obviously, Milton Berle and Huey Lewis, I think are 2 of the 2. Dennis Haybert, I mean, hey, yo, what are we doing now, chat? What are we doing now? But I guess, and again, I feel like that list is probably, I was going to say that list is as long as, okay, it is what it is. But what are we talking about, chat? Hey, yo, we were talking about Dennis Haybert there for a second. But could we take the cast of the Allstate commercials? Hey, yo, I guess Flo is progressive, isn't she? So that would be maybe the progressive commercial. Oh, that's a good one. We could take them, I think. Because I think that Jamie guy is a weakness. I think we get him in pick and roll. Shout out. I mean, you guys already know Billy Buckets is in the lineup. It is what it is. I'm telling you right now, Billy Buckets is cooking that guy. It is what it is. So Flo, of course, main character. There's gonna be she'll probably be dunking in the game. To be honest, it is what it is. But I feel like the commercial can still work where we win the game because they'll need the insurance somehow. So they might have to lose for that to happen. I guess what are the rules in insurance? I don't know, but I guess. And then I feel like there's 2 other recurring characters now. But then there's the Flo and the sidekick guy are the 2 main 2. But I feel like there is a cast of 5 that you can get from those progressive commercials to play. Is there like State Farm? Maybe it's just an insurance all-stars. Hey, yo, Jake, Flo, Dennis Haybert. Hey, yo. And then the Mayhem guy. Is that Geico? And then we get the Gecko. If we get the Gecko on the court, then we're cooking. Hey, yo. because I mean, no disrespect, but we'll just get animal animal control out there, and then it'll be 4-on-5. It is what it is. R.I.P. to the Gecko. Kevin Porter Jr. to Miles Turner. Hey yo, speaking of Bucks fans showing up to the game, that's what you get right there. Kevin Porter Jr. to Miles Turner. Shout out. Is it worth the ticket prices? We'll have to look up on SeatGeek and see what the ticket prices are there. Maybe we just call out Milwaukee. Hey yo, Kevin Porter Jr. and Miles Turner. How many points could we get? I think we get. Are we playing 2s and 3s? We get 6. We get 6 points. We're hitting 2 threes in that game. Are we playing on the park, the high school 3-point line? Give us an NBA 3-point line. I didn't even think about that. Uh-oh, chat. Uh-oh, our 5v5 is getting more interesting. But no, we're good. We'll adjust. I just need more time. I just need to set like cones up at the park to train, because most of the 3-point lines they're not dialing us in for NBA range at these 3-point lines in the Midwest Park. Most of the time, I think the courts themselves are as big as like a NBA court, like sideways. Like if you were running across the other direction. But Kuzma looked like he was gonna go for that one. And Cleveland is still up by 5 as well too. 5 minutes left. They still haven't gotten Donovan Mitchell suited him up for the fourth quarter. So I don't know how Detroit is losing this game. But Cade just dunked it in. Hey yo, so maybe we have to put aside our quest for the top 10K. But this will be interesting. Hey yo, so I guess we didn't ask it for a goal. We did. Hey, we're way behind. Is this better than? Okay, wait. Okay, our goal is to be better than Kevin Hart, and we'll see what it says there. Our goal is to be better than Kevin Hart. Again, 3-time celeb MVP. So that is a great, I feel like, bar to try to get to. A very reachable. Oh, ChatGPT is got the jokes. It is what it is. Kevin Hart, the Hooper version, high confidence, not a high level score, entertainment, then takeover bucket getter. Oh, okay, so we might be there. If you're grabbing 4 boards and almost a block in an 11 game. See, if I gave myself an extra point and took away the rebound, am I a better player? I mean, I guess a point's way more valuable in an 11-point game than a rebound is, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm just throwing stats out there, just trying to cook up a stat line to see something. But I'm gonna be paying attention now. It is what it is. How you clearly pass him? Okay, 5 to 6 points per game. It is what it is. It just says we need to take over more, and then keep the rebounds. So assisting doesn't matter. Hey, yo, ChatGPT says assisting doesn't matter. Don't pass the ball at the park. Keep the rebounds. Rebound the ball. Play defense. Rebound the ball. Grab it and go score. Is I guess the way that we should. It's the way we should have been hooping this entire time. Have we been missing out on all these potential points? I don't know. Okay, so wait a second. What's a goal? What's a reasonable? Hey yo, do we have to talk about the Jay-Z rollout that's happening? Hey yo, I can't spell. Reasonable? Hey yo. Okay, I think we're back in. What's a good goal? Not in terms of it's gonna give us the same stat line. No, in terms of ranking, shoddy. I want rankings. What is happening here? Ranking. We're gonna get the gold, chat. We're gonna get the gold. How do we pass Wemby as the best basketball player in the world? It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult. Okay, top 20, top 30 to 45%. Goal, top 20 to 25% of park, top 15% of park runs. I mean, how do we get top 100K? Is that possible? Can we get in the top 100K? Again, it said there's millions of AAU players. There are millions of people playing basketball recreationally. If you're averaging 3 points a game, it says you're not close. You're not close. Inside the top 100K recreational players, top 100K out of 3 million players would be top 3 to 4%. Hey, yo. Based on your stats alone, I'd estimate you're closer to top 2 to 400, which is roughly 10 to 15% of consistent hoopers that are already above. So we're top 2 to 400 is quite a range. So we're like the 300 and 98,000th ranked basketball player in the world right now. Honest take, solid pause. You're competitive. You're not elite tier yet, I guess. Oh, chat. We can admit to ourselves we're not an elite basketball. Can we though? Can we? That's the secret. As you can't admit to yourself that you're not an elite basketball. Never have, chat. Never have. Still, still not gonna make the NBA. It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's not gonna make the NBA shooting for the top 100K. Hey yo, I don't know if it's a bar, but boy, it's the truth, chat. Hey yo, it is what it is. But what 100K looks like strong. We're gonna be a varsity starter someday. Shout out, serious AAU rotation player. But I mean, again, like Cooper Flagg. Again, Ayo, if you didn't know, he reclassified. So he should be at Duke right now. Again, like freshman in college versus, I guess we should be in our second contract right now, chat. We should be making Tatum money. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But let's see who these names are, chat. Who are we taking out in the player rankings? Again, we can't necessarily get in these player rankings at this point, unfortunately. Tyron Stokes, 6'7", Jordan Smith, 6'2", Cameron Williams, 6'11". Hey, yo, see, the centers and the power forwards, they're their own thing. It is what it is. Shout out, we need them to run the pick and roll. Hey, yo, get the lobs in there. But obviously, we're not necessarily competing with them as well, too. Though, Dylan Mingo, combo guard, North Carolina, shout out. Number 8th in the nation. I guess top, 300, 400. I guess I was going to say like top 30,000, but I feel like that's way too far. I think like top 900 player in the world. So, we're going for his spot. The jump from the top 100,000 to the top 1,000 is quite a big jump. It is what it is. Jackson Richardson, 90, what are we at? 97 on the ranking. We're at 25, 26. We're just looking for guys that, who can we take one-on-one? Hey, yo. It is Miles Sadler. Here we go, chat. 5'10". Hey, yo. West Virginia, number 31st player in the country. We got him. It is what it is. I think he's going to cook us, but we'll put in the work this summer, and we'll let you know. We'll see if we can get him involved in the Remington Basketball Invitational. Hey, yo. We'll see. Maybe we'll... I guess I was going to start workshopping ideas here, but hey, yo. I guess what's new? But maybe we might have to write these down. It is what it is. The Remington Invitational. Shout out. We'll prove the point. We'll start an actual ranking. We'll see how many players in America we can get on this ranking. And we're going to form a ranking. Again, this is going to go poorly for me. This whole point of this ranking is because I got to, want to see how highly I'm going to rank. I'm right now, like, according to certain estimations, sitting at about 390,000. But, again, that's, there's still, I guess, a lot more people worse than that as well, too. So we've got some progress made there. And I guess that I was going to say that would be a top player in our city, but it really wouldn't. Hey, yo. It wouldn't even be. Is there 300,000? I think there is over 1 million people in Iowa, right? So it would still be top third of, man, hey, yo, I didn't think, are we a top third of a basketball player in Iowa? But you start breaking it down like that, hey, yo, it might not be too far off. It is what it is. So we've got work to do. We've got invitationals to cook up, basketball tournaments to get going. Stay tuned. This summer is going to be fun as we prove ourselves wrong. It is what it is. Ayo, Michigan up by 15 with just under 8. Oh, just off a 10-2 run. Shout out. So, again, our guy, Lendenborg, definitely, there's a little bit of a separation in the ranking between us and, Lendenborg, like we're saying. Shout out. But, yeah, we are going to see how highly up we can get there this summer. It is what it is. But, ayo, speaking of rankings, of course, one of the highest ranked artists, ayo, probably not one of the highest ranked transitions, but we do have the Bruno Mars album that did drop today, so we are going to get into that. This is, of course, exciting. The return of the Bruno Mars solo catalog. He drops a new project. So, bam, hey yo, Bruno Mars, the Romantic, up next, chat. Don't go anywhere. Hey yo, I guess you know, obviously we're probably not. Are we better at basketball? I was gonna say we're probably not as good of a singer at Bruno Mars. You know, we're not gonna get in the top 300,000 voices. Though that's how it would be, you know. Hey yo, it's like we'd asked to, you know, we'd be like a top 50,000 voice in the world. It's like, hey yo, like how is that even possible? Like, but you know, it's like for some reason I'm out here trying at basketball. I'm in the 390,000. It is what it is. But maybe we're better at basketball than Bruno Mars. Is Bruno Mars one of the top 400,000 players? I'm gonna walk around, Chad. Hey yo, I'll walk around telling people I'm in the top 400K in the world. In the country, top 400K. I'm telling you guys, the GPT, they said it. They said I'm top 400K in the country. You can't take that away. But yeah, we got Bruno Mars. You know, a top 500K basketball player in the world, top 5 artists streaming wise in the world as well too. So his new album, The Romantic. We'll listen to it and see how it goes. Up next. All right, chat, we are back, and this is the Michigan Wolverines, I know, here as we look at the last 5 minutes of the second half of this Michigan-Illinois game. Again, top 10 matchup here tonight. Illinois 10. And our guy from Illinois as well, too, that we were keeping an eye on, Wagler, 20 points, so it looked like he had a good stat line tonight. But speaking of 20, Ayo, he cuts it to 19 on the scoreboard. So, again, we said earlier that a lot of times, these Michigan games, the scores have been favorable toward Michigan. It is what it is. The margin of victory has been crazy this year for consistently getting 20 plus point wins. And it seems like, high teen type wins. It seems like they're tracking that way against the top 10 team here tonight as well, too. But, again, like we said, our guy Bruno Mars back in action for the first time solo since 2016. And, of course, 2021 project was every bit as successful as a Bruno Mars solo project. Obviously, I think, that makes total sense. It did win Album of the Year. And did 24K Magic, has he won Album of the Year for all of his albums? I mean, is he the Kendrick Lamar of pop music, chat? It is what it is. But obviously that Silk Sonic one was a fun, do you say reinvention of his sound? But I would say for me personally, and, I guess, are we the one guy out here not listening to Bruno Mars? I mean, even when you say you don't listen to an artist, again, there are songs that are just so prevalent and, again, even if, what does it mean when you listen to an artist? It's going back to their albums, it's queuing up, again, them specifically, or a lot of times, when you hit your playlist first, like I have a playlist that's, I don't even want to say how many hours it is. I know there's somebody out there. Somebody out there's got a longer playlist. It is what it is, no matter how long my playlist is. Somebody's playlist is always going to be longer. But regardless, I'll just say it. I'll just admit it, chat. I'll just drop the playlist length right here. I got a playlist that's almost 250 hours. It is what it is. Shout out, played in full. I'm shouting out my own playlist. But again, I might go to that and hit a song and just let it shuffle. But who am I going? And I got tons of Bruno. I got, again, all of 24 Karat Magic saved into that playlist. I guess, that's why it's obviously paused so long. It's just a collection of a bunch of albums like that. But am I often going to that playlist to queue up that specifically? Again, that's what I mean, but when you listen to an artist. But again, obviously, Versace on the Floor pops on. When might that play? But, again, those songs are going to play. You're probably not going to skip them. Can you skip them is also going to be a question. But, I guess if you're playing them in the car and they're skippable at the moment, then you can. Or, no, then like I'm saying, you'll let those play as well, too. And his hits, and I guess for me, 24 Karat Magic is a good... I do like that pop sound that he did have there, because I think that what was it? Or Unorthodox. I'm looking at on a small screen here. Unorthodox. Again, I don't even know the name of that. Unorthodox Jukebox. And yeah, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. They are a little too 20s, 10s popish. Again, just for me to go back and to listen to. Obviously, there's great hits on there. It is what it is. And obviously, back in the day, again, who wasn't running up those albums as well too? So maybe it's just of a time for me as well. But again, there is a safety to those pop hits as well too, where there's a manager at work right now that just every time he's in, he just plays Bruno Mars radio, and it is basically every other song is some song off of both of these albums. I guess I don't even remember exactly the track list for this one as well too. Okay, yeah, so this has got, again, I got tons of songs saved in here. It is what it is. But this has got Locked Out of Heaven. Oh, When I Was Your Man is on here. And Treasure all on here. Oh, okay, so this is, this has got some hits as well too. I thought Treasure was on Doo-Wops and Hooligans, just in terms of the billion songs as well too. But the major hits on this, Grenade, Just the Way You Are, 3-1, The Lazy Song, 1-3, Marry You, 1-5, Talking to the Moon, 2 mil. Again, those are obviously, good tracks in their own right. Talking to the Moon, that's a fine track he's going for on the vocal performance there. But I don't know if it's, constantly a track that, you know, you go back again for me to queue up there as well too. The Lazy song, I honestly can't think of the Lazy song right now. I'm sure if, you know, again, I queued it up, it would instantly, and I guess, hey, yo, we need to save songs out of this album. It is what it is. But Runaway Baby as well too. But, you know, again, hey, yo, shout out. 24K Magic, that is legit as well. 20, and yeah, more concise track list here with nine tracks. And we do also have to mention, we were mentioning the end of the Illinois-Michigan game is a blowout. The end of Cleveland versus Detroit with the injured Cleveland starting lineup is all of a sudden Detroit has somehow fought their way back to a 3-point game. So it looks like the Cavs might steal this one, but maybe Detroit's going to steal it back from Cleveland. We'll see what happens here. Hey, yo. Just using basketball phrases there, but regardless, again, this is a great album. Hey, yo, hot take. 24K Magic, great album. But again, I do like what he was going for here, even though there is some definite, I don't even know what you say, like processy type stuff going on. But I guess to say that, you know, again, An Evening with Silk Sonic is that live instrumentation vibe and a little bit more of, you know, again, that bringing that soulful sound back into 2021. And it's really, really great as well, too. It's probably, I guess, you know, again, I would say that because it is an updated of the sound, like, you know, there is obviously, you know, the guys from back in the day are just so iconic that, you know, you're going to just gravitate. And obviously, you know, there's so much music from, I mean, Ayo, it's all timeless. It is what it is. You know, you can go back and it's still, you know, Ayo slaps in its own right. Obviously, again, you can have sounds of an era and things that, you know, again, sound of a time. But, you know, again, are you going to go, am I going to listen to An Evening with Silk Sonic, or am I going to listen to Barry White? Like, hey, yo, like, what am I going to be throwing on here? Hey, yo. Yeah, you know, I don't know if they said Barry White was their #1 influence for the album, but I'm just saying, like, you know, again, maybe I just want to, you know, there is maybe as time goes on, you know, maybe again, I don't know if Bruno Mars will, I guess, you know, he will be that, obviously. He is currently that. He's currently the Barry White of, you know, obviously that's what we've all called him, chat, the Barry White of our times. It is what it is. But, and I think it, you know, obviously their voices are totally different because, you know, Ayo, shout out Barry White, the booming voice. But I guess I could see Barry White singing over the production of An Evening at Silk Sonic is definitely more, you know, more realistic than him singing over the production of 24 Karat Magic, though he would obviously have crushed both. Barry White, I mean, hey, yo, what are we using AI for? I guess, you know, obviously we'd be respectful. We're not going, are we turning into Drake with the AI Tupac over here? You know, we're going to have Barry White renditions of Versace on the floor. It is what it is. But that would be crazy. Hey, yo, I would play that, chat. It is what it is. I would play Barry with 2025 Barry White covers. It is what it is, but who wouldn't? I mean, who wouldn't? Shout out. Again, I say that with all due respect to, you know, Barry White, shout out to Barry White Estate, but as well. But again, Ayo, and I guess our Michigan-Illinois game's over. I was going to say, I need to find a different feed, obviously, because, you know, the legit feed for some reason would have cut out, but you know, again, Ayo, that game, fortunately, was decided by the end there. But I also, you know, saw a little bit, as I think everybody did, a little bit of promo for the Romantic. I didn't hear the single that he dropped for it here. I guess we'll look at the track list. And we got another concise project here as well, too. So I just might at 181. Looks like that was the 181 million streams. Look, and I guess a music video. Looks like that was the single there. But I remember seeing a still or just like a clip of the music video, and it did seem like it was a little bit of that live instrumentation-y stuff again. So I could be wrong. But, and, you know, again, I guess I could go back into the era of 24 Karat Magic. Because I got to be honest, I'm probably bumping that album more now than I was back then. I think, you know, Ayo, I'm probably more committed to bumping full albums now as well, too. But, you know, the hits were so prevalent back then as well, too. That I didn't even, you know, I just didn't even think to go listen to the other songs on the album. It is what it is. And I don't know if I was, like, totally into, you know, again, at that time, that album was overplayed. You know, at this time, I think people, still run up those hits, but it's not like, and he had, of course, a sort of career revitalization as well too. I guess is revitalization the right term, but I think he did, enter a new apex for his career, if you can say that. Pause with the hits, die a smile. I think, again, if we look at the numbers, is that just straight up the, pause, the biggest song of his career? But if you think about the fact that it's the biggest song of his career, and again, it dropped like a couple of years ago as well too. Like, again, at this point, a couple of years ago, I guess, but literally, what, 24 months ago, maybe? Can we do like I guess this is got the album artwork here, so it didn't obviously drop when Mayhem dropped. Mayhem dropped in 25. I guess it helped run the stream. Is this like the Cardi B? And again, we were, shout out. We're not disrespecting the Cardi B album, obviously. It's just funny that, you throw the hit single on there at the end and, you get the platinum album. Shout out. I guess it's good strategy as well, too. You got to respect it. But it's like, Lady Gaga's best-selling album of all time with because of Die for a Smile. And I think this album, it was nominated for Album of the Year, right? So it's like, again, shout out. Like, obviously... good project there. We need to go back and spin that or I just go back. What am I? I'm not gonna lie, chat. We need to go spin that project. It is what it is. But again, even Lady Gaga, you go back to her. At least for me, I go back to a couple of the iconic albums there. What am I gonna say? Chat. I guess I don't have to act like you listen to the artists that you listen to. It is what it is. Like I'm not gonna, I got Lady Gaga's songs saved like everybody does, but am I always going to queue up the songs? Again, I only got so much time. It is what it is. But when did Die with a Smile 2024? As we justify, our own rotation. But Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars 2024, October 17th, 2024. So it hasn't even been 24 months at this point that this song has been out, and it's already got to be arguably one of the biggest songs of all time. Like, it is so overplayed at this point that I don't even know if you can make the case for it in like a greatest songs of all time debate. And I guess now it's like everything's like, oh, is it streamed so much because it's like a TikTok song? Well, it's like, well, okay, like TikTok uses, pause, like, or whatever, that still doesn't go into Spotify streams. So I think there is still, like, both things can be true. It can be a major hit that is being used on TikTok, and TikTok, usage can definitely help with the, the Spotify streams as well. But it's like, what? People were just running up this song on Spotify. And again, it's not even like the radio, the radio is playing. I guess is the radio playing Spotify, again, and I guess is Die with a Smile botted, now that we know that I guess all this stuff is botted or whatever. But again, that's the thing about this is like, this is literally just people playing it. Like hot take, but that's what it is. It's not, this song is getting infested. Like the song is everywhere. Like why can't I get rid of this song? It's like, this is Spotify. You control the music that you play. And 3.4 billion times people have controlled, the fact, pause, like they've wanted to listen to this song. And again, it's only been out for 22 minutes. And you know what happens if this song plays right now? I'm probably going to end up, by the time we get to the second time they hit that chorus, if I'm not singing, chat, then I'm probably just in a bad mood that day. And you know what? Do they hit that chorus a third time? Because if they do, I'm probably in a good mood by the time they hit again, I guess Die with a Smile. But again, that's, in the just the vocal performances as well too. Again, Bruno Mars and Gaga, obviously, like we're saying, both obviously top of the game in that regard. At paired up here is obviously, again, a great matchup. And I mean, speaking of Gaga, I know that again this is the Bruno Mars album time, but there has been something to like the Gaga singing hits as well, because again, she's obviously made her own ways in like the the dance pop stuff. And, like Poker Face is obviously a lot different than Die with a Smile. But I'm thinking of that, and I guess, specifically that and the Star is Born soundtrack as well, too. But, I mean, again, you want to talk about, like, song infestation, and I guess in a positive way. Shallow 3, I mean, that's 3 billion stream songs for Lady Gaga. Like, we might have to have a conversation about Lady Gaga as, the greatest voice of all time. I don't know if I get hot takey or not. But again, I don't know if she gets brought up in those conversations. And I know, again, is Lady Gaga streaming 3 billion, again, obviously like guys back in the day, I guess like Bohemian Rhapsody is a song that's like one of the most streamed songs, right? So I guess, Queen has their own hits. Like shout out Freddie Mercury, still got the modern day case. But, there's still maybe a little bit of some of the stat stuff where it's like, okay, maybe Lady Gaga's able to put up more yards on Spotify now than, like, is Teddy Pendergrass going to be putting up the same amount of yards? Hey, throw out a voice, hey, yo. But I'm just saying, like, Lady Gaga, again, singing, and, like, obviously, again, what are we going to sit here and say that Poker Face is a bad song? Guess what? It's a great song. Guess what? Lady Gaga, as an artist, great artist. She has many different lanes at which she can attack music. But I'm just saying that, again, if she attacks the music from a singer type lane, hey, yo, she's got to combine in 2 hits. She's got to combine 6.5 million streams, 6.5 billion streams. Hey, yo, a little bit of a difference, but still, 6.5 billion. Did the Pistons just get fouled on a 3-point attempt? I think they did. Man, Chet, sometimes I used to think this was drama. Now I just think the league is scripted. It is what it is. You're like, how does this happen? It's just like, I feel like 8.5 times out of 10, maybe 9 times out of 10, maybe a little strong, but 8.5 times out of 10, when you're dribbling up the court and they foul you in transition, even if you put that shot up, it doesn't matter. They're foul. I feel like the point of the foul is they're fouling you in transition, and I feel like there is a lot of times as well too as a fan where you're like, oh, he's taking the three, like he should be taking that extra free throw, but it's like, hey, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, again, he's running full speed up the court. That's not a real shot. He's throwing it at the basket because, again, he is getting the contact. So it's like, what's a shooting foul and what's just the guy, again, just kind of chucking it at the hoop. But, right there, hey, yo, they're just like, I guess we give him the 3. And Cleveland having the bench guys as well, too. It's like, if Cleveland ultimately loses this game by 1, it's like that's somehow a good thing because they had 4 of their players out, but also disastrous because it's like, how do you lose this game after you were up by, a couple points here at the end of the game and had many opportunities to just put it away? So 3 for 3 on the free throws as well too. You got to shout out, they said Jenkins for the Pistons stepping up there and hitting the shots. Schroeder going coast to coast. Hey, yo. So I guess it only ties the game overtime. So Denver versus OKC is going to have to wait. They've got the little scorecard there in the corner right now. And it is 27-13 with 2 minutes left in the first. So, hey, yo, a little Western Conference competitive matchup there that we want to keep an eye on. But I think OKC dealing with some injuries. They're not at full strength right now. I think you can probably see that, like we just said, being translated in the score. But once again, Schroeder, Asar Thompson, they're not going to call the foul there. It is what it is. I think they definitely just, smacked him on the arm and didn't even, grab the basketball one bit. Is it called, the very rare all elbow block on defense that works out. But shout out, Asar Thompson, the best in the league, got it right there. It is what it is. But hey, yo, anyways, back to Lady Gaga, back to Bruno Mars. Shout out. We got to actually fire up this project here. But I guess, yeah, really obviously just saying, curious what type of sound is he going to attack on this album. But I imagine it's going to be vibey as well too. Oh, okay, good. The speaker is still on, so we can just cue right up and see what we've got going on here. And like we said, hey, yo, maybe some of these new songs will end up actually making the rotation. Maybe we'll actually be on Bruno Mars now. Hey, yo, pause for 2026. Because like we said, he obviously needs, he needs to pay off these gambling debts. So we should probably listen to him a little bit just to help a brother out. Hey, yo, shout out to Bruno Mars. We got kind of like a little, hey, yo, I guess obviously we tread lightly, but a little Spanish vibe in the intro here. I guess I might be a little influenced by the sort of the suit choice in the little music video clip here. But hey, yo, of course, we get Bruno Mars crooning right out the gate. I mean, the horns were definitely an infectious little vibe setter to start. But, again, the simple instrumentation as well, too. Starting off with the light guitar. So this does have a music video. I may switch to the music video real quick on Spotify just to see what we get here. I know that, I guess, we're not listening to it, same time. But it does change up the sound quality a little bit. So we've got Bruno Mars in like a Catholic church setup. some stained glass windows. Oh, we've got a wedding. Okay, roses. Yeah, we got a bride. Shout out, a lovely bride. Oh, Bruno Mars is the groom. Who would have guessed? Shout out, Bruno Mars. The cowboy hat groom setup is definitely a dapper look there as well. So I don't know what how this is this Bruno Mars. Is this correlating to his real life? Again, I guess we don't follow these guys off the court. It is what it is, or is just as part of the music video. I don't know, but. Shout out. We've got him, I guess, paying a little, wedding homage situation. Is this like a wedding song attempt from Bruno Mars? Again, I think that, like we're saying, obviously some of those early songs, I guess maybe Just the Way You Are probably, but I don't know. I feel like are you sneaky playing Bruno Mars at a wedding? Again, you're not gonna. I'm sitting by myself talking to the moon. I don't know. Probably not playing that. Grenade. Again, like it definitely is a great sentiment, but I don't know if you want to be playing that at the wedding as well too. Obviously you're the point's a long and happy life. I guess Treasure maybe. When I Was Your Man. I guess that could be played at some point, but again, maybe not by the bride or the groom, but. Locked Out of Heaven, probably not as well too. And then even with Silk Sonic is like a little sexy as well too. So not say that hey yo, like what do you say? Obviously you can play that at some point, but again, if this is like a walk down the aisle ceremony type song, shout out Bruno Mars getting his plays up there as well too. I'm trying to think, because like again, leave the door open. Like maybe at some point you're queuing that up on the dance floor, and everybody's vibing to that. But you're definitely not. That's not like a ceremony song. Again, you got a little ceremony situation going here for our guys. So beautiful intro track. Hey yo, Bruno Mars. I didn't know we get like we've been listening to obviously the rap albums. I feel like you get the high energy set to high energy tone setter to start the album. But I feel like we should take a break after that album, or like after that song. Hey yo, real emotional, real sweet. Shout out. So Cha 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 is the next track up. Are we back to dancing, back to vibing a little bit? And hey yo, we just still got the Silk Sonic track list up here in the background. I guess still definitely again a little more upbeat, but still not going super crazy. Just kind of a nice rhythm. Hey yo, we'll see if kicks up a little bit on the hook here. Hey yo, I see the horns, or hear the horns a little bit start to. What did we Oppenheimer over here? We see the music, chat. Hey yo, I can see it. I can visualize it. It is what it is. I guess we can't see it because there's no music video for this one, but he does have, I guess, a pendant being shown on loop on the Spotify's part there, so that's cool. I guess I don't know, maybe we need to look into the cowboy sort of branding, I guess, for what Bruno Mars, the Western sort of branding, I guess I don't know exactly what you say, for the getup that he has got going on here, but it does set like a vibe as well too. And again, I don't know what to properly call the vibe, but it is different from what we've gotten before, and it is a fun sound as well too. I guess he's got his suit picture up. He's got his artist profile picture here on Spotify updated as well too, and this is just more like a fancy suit, more so than again maybe era specific. The design could lean a little Western. I guess you could see it like a cowboy boot or something, but yeah, and I guess the romantic as well too. I guess the picture and stuff doesn't necessarily lean that way, but shout out, Ayo. Obviously, the sound consistency, is going to be there for him as well as it has been on all these projects. But, again, on the last couple of tracks, last couple of albums, even with the last one, he has been able to have the sort of, dance hits and the groovier songs, and then the mellower songs there as well too. So there is just kind of, and again, there is a replay value to the sonic vibe of Evening at Silk Sonic. Like, it is such an easy listen to throw on, and this, I guess, with this song does have like a very, and again, I guess I say this respectfully, hey yo, but it's got a very album vibe type of song. Like, it's easy listening within the track list. Again, like Risk It All, like we're saying, he's crooning on that. He's really going for the emotion there. Like, he's really trying to set that song apart in a little bit. Like, this is just a nice, I could see like a drive around, throw this album on, this song's playing, just a good mood. There's definitely like some, hey, did you just say some wind? Like, I don't know. Again, we tread lightly when we say that. But there's some wind. There's like a breeze involved when we're playing this song. Maybe we need to get the Genius up and see the lyrics as well too. We're slacking, chat. Hey yo, just because our guy Bruno Mars is not J. Cole doesn't mean we can't necessarily pay attention to what the guy's saying. Hey yo. Obviously, he's gonna be talking about, there's gonna be some mention. I don't know, some bar, something big booty. I don't know. So we got to be locked in. I just in case. Hey yo. But I just might. Hey yo. Okay, we got a little vibe here going. Definitely. I don't know. We're slowly stepping up the energy of the album. And hey yo, we've got Genius says read all the lyrics to Blackpink's new Deadline over Bruno Mars's new album here. So, and Yeet and Timothy Chalamet made a song. Hey yo, maybe we need to listen to that. Yeet, is he gearing up for an album release? Pause. We got Yeet and Jay-Z gonna be dropping albums here soon in 2026. I don't know, but here we go. I Just Might, track 3, Bruno Mars. Okay, here we go. We're dancing, chat. We're moving. This is fun. Hey yo, and I guess this was the single as well too. So like we said, we weren't listening to this beforehand, but this is definitely a vibe right here. I guess the post chorus on Genius, do 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 do. I just might do 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 do. Oh, I just might. I guess that probably wasn't exactly how. Oh, chat, look at that. I guess were we listening to this song and just lying about it? Because verse 2, it says, but first may. What does it say? The Genius is loading and jumping around here. But first, may I just say that your face got me so intrigued. I'm so intrigued. But what good is beauty if your booty can't find the beat? Hey, yo, chat. How did I know Bruno Mars was going to say booty in a track? It is what it is. I don't know how many times he's necessarily said specifically the word booty on a track, but I feel like I would associate that word with Bruno Mars more than any artist. And again, that's obviously, I guess, a pause, but also a huge compliment as well too, because I feel like he sings about the beauty of the human body, but he also does, again, his songs just have a natural groove sometimes as well too. So booties are shaking. It is what it is. But again, it seems like I would associate that word with Bruno Mars. I don't know if there's like a word that, and hey yo, like obviously but I don't know if there's like a certain word that we would associate with like Kendrick or Drake, or there is definitely, I guess, like like Tupac would obviously shout out like obviously like Alizé a lot, and I guess you could have things like that, like that'd be a good one. Tupac definitely probably said booty a couple times in a song himself as well too. But yeah, I would say Bruno Mars and booty, is that the number one artist to word pairing at this point? I don't know. I feel like, I'm trying to think, is like Cardi B got, like we're saying, just, is there like something that we would associate mainly with her? I guess we'd have to, well, obviously Under Pressure, chat. Hey, yeah, we don't have our list. It is what it is. But it was an easy guess. That was a minus 250 on the track on the track list. It is what it is. And definitely, a single and a hit as well too. Shout out. So he's gonna balance it back out with a groovy little single here. And this, ayo, this feels like a soul song right here. I mean, this is a good groove. Shout out. I guess we're gonna have to go back to Cha Cha Cha. This just feels a little bit more soulful than that track, and not to, ayo, dump on that track too much or whatever. Pause. But just to compare, because again, I think that would be more similar lanes for this track in this track list. But yeah, this is, and we maybe need to go back to some of the more cuts on Evening at Silk Sonic a little bit. But I'm trying to remember like how laid back he does get, of course, laid back, but it's like the crooner. Again, do you say is bedroom soul? Hey yo, Chad, is that thing? You get like that, he's really crooning on that album, and then a little bit more upbeat in between that, where this is like a good middle pace. I don't know if we have to now, just for some reason, obviously, it is what it is. You spend a lot of time at work, you're just ready, unintentionally, that's just where you're gonna be listening to a lot of music. But it's just like which of the different person that's gonna be on aux at work, like which of the playlists is this song which are these songs gonna be in? Because Bruno Mars is gonna be, populated throughout a bunch of the playlists. It is what it is. But yeah, this is definitely this is a fun vibe, chat. Hey yo, shout out. Album is strong, halfway through, 4 songs on a 9-song track list. So halfway through, you got to go pretty perfect here. And especially again, if you're gonna be spinning it back, and especially a shorter album like this, you can maybe spin it 2 times kind of unintentionally if you're just moving around, getting stuff done. I mean, obviously that can be anything, but this is, like we're saying, you don't obviously have a lot of room for error. We wouldn't expect Bruno Mars to necessarily have that, and he would now, obviously before, but really start to go into the amount of songs without a skip conversation. Again, we really, I guess for us, like we were saying, we avoid 2 whole albums, but he doesn't have any skips in his discography. But like we're saying, 13 tracks on Doo Wops, 9 tracks on Unorthodox. Was it 9 again on 24K? So is 9 just his number 10 on Silk Sonic, and then 9 on The Romantic. So he might be up there with the highest percentage, of course, of artist song quality, percentile, if that's the thing. Again, we brought up Kendrick, of course, again, ayo, Kendrick, the Grammys, we get it, the Drake bars, ayo, it is what it is. But it's that way for a reason, because the man makes great music. And especially since, I guess, I was going to say, especially since Section 80 from a commercial level. Obviously, Section 80 is just a great album in general. But you can't really deny, again, commercially what he's done since then. It's really been, major song after major project after major project, and all those projects are basically, you listen to those start to finish every time. Tyler, the last, 4 or 5 projects of his, of course, have been, up there, that skip list. Like we're saying, Cole, of course, is in that mix as well, too. And and I guess, again, like we say, Dre, like anybody, to some degree, again, Nas, Jay-Z, like all, like at some point, maybe even get to a point where it's just like the songs that I thought were skips, I'm not even skipping those anymore. You're like, I'm just listening to I don't even care. Right? I'm just listening to Tupac, I'm listening to Cole, I'm listening to T.I. Like, I'm just going to listen to the guy. Like, maybe there are certain circumstances where, like I'm just skipping a song because it is what it is, or I'm looking for certain songs. But, again, it's like, hey, I'm just going to spend time in this album with the artists and in whatever this, project is. But, yeah, I mean, regardless, he's been basically, he's basically approaching perfect for a discography. And not to say that, again, I guess the 3 albums beforehand wouldn't have been enough, but that's still 30-ish songs at that point. So now, I guess, 40-ish songs, ayo, way better. And I guess Silk Sonic, 50-ish songs, that is crazy. That is crazy. That he's been able to have this entire career on like 50, 60 tracks. I mean, has he dropped 60 songs in his, let me see how many songs are on his Spotify here. I think there is a website that will have the number listed out, if I can find it here. So, I mean, I'm setting the over-under. Again, I guess I basically just counted it up on the albums. But there's a couple singles mixed through their non-album singles as well, too. Like, of course, we said the run of songs that he was just having. But, yeah, it would have to be, over-under like 54.5, 56.5. How many songs are in Bruno Mars' entire Spotify discography? So, again, what Scorpion and For All the Dogs are both 20 plus. Like, those two albums alone is like Bruno Mars's entire discography. Hey, yo. So, again, I guess is there a right way to do it, chat? Pause. Hey, yo. Obviously not. But chat, Bruno Mars is just gonna hook us in with this song. Hey, yo. Old Peter Jean himself is just cooking up with this one. It is what it is. Why You Wanna Fight is why you wanna fight with me, baby. Oh, chat, Bruno. I tell you, like I said, maybe we just do need to play him more. I mean, if you can't tell from us listening to these albums, we'll definitely, like I was saying, pause. Get on an artist when they drop a new project like this, and it'll make us go back and re-listen to a lot of their old stuff, or the older stuff that hey, we like. Hot take, but. So like we're saying, I might be back on 24 Karat Magic, but maybe this is just, it could be what it is. Maybe this is just a better project than 24 Karat Magic, or maybe not 24 Karat Magic, but maybe this is just a better project than those two pop albums before, like we mentioned. And I don't know if this album even has the potential. Oh, chat, he does have 95 unique tracks listed on his Spotify. So that is, I guess, including features as well too. I guess how many features though that aren't like Bruno Mars adjacent singles as well too, where it's just like Bruno Mars hopping on this track. Ed Sheeran Blow with Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars. Hey, yo. Okay, I guess I don't know necessarily that one there. So yeah, 95 is definitely a lot more than we were guessing. Is there some EPs in here that we're thinking of? I guess there is like some where he's like released like there's some remixes in here. The Grenade Sessions. Okay, so you got a couple of tracks. How many tracks are in the Grenade Sessions? Hey, yo. So some of this early stuff is running up the score. Okay. The Grenade Sessions has got 4. Just the Way You Are remix is 7. Right there. Skrillex Bat Boy remix? I mean, come on. Does that count? I don't think so. But hey, yo, On My Soul, we've got the two-step dancing vibe back on the track here. Hey, yo, I don't know if that's the move that you're pulling out, but I don't know. Pause. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But regardless, like I'm saying, the sort of soulfulness and the cohesion of the track so far, there is it is what it is. Like, I don't think that you can necessarily consider the first two albums soulful albums. Again, to me, they're pop albums. It is what it is. And that's not a bad thing. Again, those are good songs to some degree. Again, what am I saying over here? Like, they're amazing songs. They're amazing hits. They're fun, nostalgic, bangers from that era. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, speaking of bangers. But regardless, this is just a little bit sonically in that, again, Silk Sonic lane, but also as a solo project as well too. I mean, the thing that Silk Sonic does have, of course, that Bruno Mars solo project doesn't have is Anderson .Paak. And Anderson .Paak, guess what he does do to the Silk Sonic projects? He does add an amazing level to those projects for sure. Like his catchiness and his vocal stuff. Like, I mean, he doesn't necessarily get his own credit for just his like song structure ability. I mean, I guess, the Anderson .Paak people do really love Anderson .Paak. Like, he is obviously one of the strong, I would say, like cult following fan bases out there. But his song structure, his ability to have different what are we saying, like different cadences, and of course he can rap, he can have like hooks and stuff. Like, he's just a very, 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 very versatile artist and a great musician as well too. So both of those things are great to have for Bruno Mars. But he just adds, Chatsy, I'm playing Silk Sonic over here on accident. Hey, yo, I was gonna fat finger at some point. It is what it is. We can get it back. Shout out. But yeah, regardless, his dynamic in that album is needed to make that album, again, a real top-notch album, for sure. Or, to just make it as special of an album as it is. But for, of course, like you're saying, Bruno to carry some of those soulful elements, and, he's obviously just going to have his great performances on these tracks as well, is definitely great as well. So, I don't know, this is definitely, we're getting a little bit more upbeat. I don't know if I'm just going to say it's more poppy just because, ayo, but it does seem like it is a little bit more from that era as well, too. So, shout out. I mean, ayo, is Bruno, I guess, like you're saying, he's not going to have a bad track on here, per se. It's just, I don't know, there's going to have to be for some reason, like we're saying, when in an artist that you don't necessarily go back to all the time, something's going to have to really, stand out about the song. And I'm judging it through the lens of, I guess multiple things, of course. The lens of, is this going to be a good project to listen to, start to finish each song? Is this going to be songs that you want to save into your playlists? Again, is this just like a song that you think is just a good song in general or whatever? But, again, in terms of the playlist value versus the album value versus the good song value, like this is, again, he's going to hit, obviously, the good song and the album values there for the listening quality. But in terms of, again, just immediately giving it the golden buzzer to add it into the playlist is going to have to be, of course, a different sort of level as well, too. So we got kind of a funky little vibe here, chat. Ayo. This is definitely one of those songs that is a swing. We were just talking about Bruno Mars not having a skip. Hey, yo. This is one of those songs that you could tell if this song doesn't work out, it's sonically offset from the album that is a little, again, maybe you skip it just because of vibe reasons or whatever. Who knows? But, I mean, Bruno Mars, he's going to get you dancing. He's going to catch you at some point. There's no way he's not going to make something about this song super infectious. You can see the vocal swell starting to happen here. Something serious, chat. Hey, yo, he hits that little note right before the chorus. Hey, yo, we're not even keeping up with the lyrics like we said we haven't. And this has just got like a musical break in this. Hey, yo, I guess we haven't necessarily just gotten like a, let the band cook moment. But, hey, yo, Bruno Mars just said, let the band cook for a second. So shout out. I guess, like we said, he got us, chat. He got us. I knew this was going to be a swing. I knew I was either going to skip this song or like this song. And I like this song. It is what it is. He got me, chat. He got me. Bruno Mars, he's a catchy song maker. It is what it is. Ooh, I got it bad for ya. You've got to understand. Ooh, you should be my boo thing. Boo thing. I should be your man's. Now, don't you want that real love? Girl, I'll always have your back. Don't you want some pretty brown Bruno babies? Whoa! Hey, yo. I guess this is just a song specifically for this is not even relatable, chat. Hey, yo. We like to see like, these artists are like it's like, oh, can I picture myself I'm this is me. Like, I'm rapping these lyrics. I'm on top of the world, Hey, yo, I'm, I guess, hey, yo, we gotta be careful what rappers we say that we're imitating now, we tread lightly these days. But, you're like, oh, do you party like Future? Do you, push product like this one person? Do you, it's like, okay, like, we're probably not actually doing these things, but for a moment in my car, like, maybe I am a coke dealer. I don't know. Obviously, we're not. The feds better not be busting in here at any moment. But I'm just saying that emotionally listening to a rap song, can I get arrested for emotionally being a drug dealer in a rap song? I don't know. But, again, Bruno Mars just leaves no room for debate because, like we're saying, Bruno Mars, some pretty pretty Bruno babies, chat. I guess I'm just reading the genius here. It is what it is. Shout out. But some pretty Bruno babies, like, who's not going to, unfortunately, make pretty Bruno babies? Your boy. Your boy does not have the capability to match Bruno's. Speaking of Peter Gene Hernandez. Hey, yo. Rems does not have the Peter Gene. It is what it is. Pause. Whoa! IT might have to take that out. It is what it is. The Bruno Mars look scale Shout out. But so you know, Bruno just doesn't make this song relatable at all. He's like, nope, this is just how I hit on a girl. He's like, you want to make some pretty Bruno babies. It is what it is. I mean, you know, is it the confidence in the line, or is it Bruno Mars? I don't know. I guess we'll have to do some research. It's tomorrow, Saturday, but what do we got? Ooh, I guess we're on the next track now. We don't have to necessarily do karaoke for this one here. Nothing Left. Oh, and the next one is called Dance With Me. So that one is kind of giving itself away. But yeah, he is, I guess, one last little singing attempt here on the 8th track. I'm looking for magic. Can't seem to find it in your eyes. The smile on your face that I used to that I used to make is long and gone. It kills me to think, chat, somewhere I lost my baby. We've been together so long, but the fire don't burn like it used to. No, don't want to let you go, but you know something's got to change. Something's got to change. Oh, chat. Hey, yo. I guess he's a little bit too hurt to ask for Bruno babies in this song. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But feels like I'm reaching out with nothing left to hold on to. Feels like I'm reaching out with nothing left to hold on to. Yeah. Oh, feels like I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out. I think I might be stuttering, chat. It is what it is. I don't think that's exactly how it goes. Oh, but here we go. Speaking of let the band cook, we get a little guitar riff right there for a second. That was impressive. Shout out. Maybe that would have been, and I guess we have to go back to Silk Sonic. I think they maybe do let the band cook. I guess that's just another, again, like we said, we're going to be on Bruno Mars here for a little bit. Pause. It is what it is. Shout out. But, yeah, I think that they do definitely let the band and the instrumentation take over from time to time in that. But maybe that would have been a fun little wrinkle to this as well, too. Would have been a little bit more of, not the focus on the instrumentation, because again, you do get it in the back. Pause. It is, whoa. Hey, yo. In the microphone today, it is what it is. We've been undisciplined. The microphone's been unplugged multiple times. We've said Peter. We said Peter, Gene, and what did we just say? Hey, yo. That's crazy. But regardless, like we're saying, I guess I don't even know what we're saying at this point. Just, oh, Bruno Mars, something about the focus on the instrumentation. Maybe that would have been interesting. But I guess Dance With Me is up next here. And, hey, yo, we not the dance vibes we were going to. He's Slow Dance With Me, I guess, is the little bit more of the vibe here. So, hey, yo, I think Bruno Mars did it, chat. Pause. I think he might have, but depending on some of these, depending on the lyrics, some of these songs. But I think in terms of dropping another good album, I think Bruno Mars did it. Pause. Again, I mean, is it better than, this is just where you're like, okay, music is just subjective. Because it's like, am I going to be listening to the Don Toliver album more than the Bruno Mars album? Probably. Which one's better? I mean, I guess, is Bruno Mars going to win the Grammy? Sure. Am I saying Don Toliver should win the Grammy for Octane? I mean, I don't know if I'm saying that either. But, again, obviously, the quality can't be denied. And the influence to spin the rest of the discography is an important thing as well, too. So, again, obviously, he doesn't need us to be doing it. Pause. But I think he's got us hooked. And this is definitely, for, if anything can stand out in the Bruno Mars discography, like this is a, again, a subtle, but it's a good addition to the, I guess, I'm not saying good because it's not great. It's a subtle, but yeah, again, I guess it is great. A subtle but great addition to the Bruno Mars discography here. Yet again, he's obviously working with, such a concise track list as well too, and it is interesting, I guess, just from a streaming standpoint. If from a radio, I guess he had all of his like major, again, radio hits just now with Die With A Smile, with APT, with, I guess, I don't know if exactly if Fat, Juicy, and Wet got 2 billion streams like the rest of them, but I think people are still bumping it. So he doesn't even necessarily need the radio attempts on this album, but I guess it just is interesting because he has had those on all the albums. So it's like, what would it look like if Bruno Mars dropped an album without, radio pop success on some of these plays? And I guess, I don't know, we have to predict which song is going to go crazy. I guess, how long ago did this single drop? I don't think it was too long ago. Pause. 181, I guess, is like, some classic songs are probably at 181. So wait a second. Let me see here if we can find like a single here. And this outro track is pretty great as well too. The instrumentation here. Oh, APT, yeah, is at 2.3. Wait, so we were looking at is where's Fat Juicy and what at? For hey yo, pause. For I guess no pause. Hey yo, I don't know. But what's respectful there, chat? The 9th of January was the release date. Pause. Hey yo, speaking of Fat Juicy and what was the release date for I Just Might when he dropped that single? So 181 in a little over a month. Again, I guess I don't know enough about these numbers to know if that's like on pace. Is that gonna hit a billion streams just because it's Bruno Mars? Or are we looking at like 500 million for I Just Might? I don't know. But God Was Showing Off might be a hit as well too. 83, I guess there is just like looking at the numbers here, that natural fall off of people. And it's the way you look at these numbers. It's the way it is with every album. Is the first numbers are always the strongest. People just be tuning out. It is what it is. And so Risk It All, I guess, is again that first track. Also a great slow sort of song as well too. But that first 5 is pretty strong. I would say, again, not to say that On My Soul wasn't great. I think it was really, really good. And Something Serious, again, unique. It got us hooked. And he definitely finished off Pause strong with the last 2. But I think he did really show out here with the first 3. Cha-Cha. Hey, yo, shout out. And again, I guess like we're saying, we're not going back to Bruno Mars for the perfection of the project. So maybe we can be a little easier with the way we grade him here. But, I mean, regardless, this seems like a very easy play from start to finish. Like, replays again, shout out. And I guess there is a little bit of like a slow song to slow song transition here from a 1 to 9. I guess if you have to be super picky and like a 9 album, maybe, the Spotify setting, the rotation like that, maybe you do it. But the emotion of the slower track, I guess, in Dance With Me is different than Risk It All in some way, if we can say that. But maybe, if there was some way to switch that up, I don't know. But again, otherwise, it's literally, that's not a album problem typically, per se. It's just, that's more of is that a Spotify problem or an album problem? I guess, what's your problem as an artist in 2026? But, yeah, shout out. Bruno Mars. Is it better than The Fall Off? Is it better than Don't Be Dumb? Hey, yo, can A$AP Rocky still win the Grammy? Is that the question? I don't know. But shout out. I'm sure Bruno Mars is, again, going to be pretty well off with this album here. And it seems like it is going to be a fun project for us to go back and revisit. But yeah, we will take one more break. Hey, yo, shout out Bruno. Shout out our guy. We will be back to finish up the live stream right after this. All right, chat, we are back, and I just saw a comment. IT just sent me a comment in reaction to the new Bruno Mars album, and somebody said Bruno over Michael. I mean, hey, yo, what are we doing here, chat? I mean, like we said, Bruno's dropped 50 songs in his entire career. Like, we could be better than that guy after, 50 tracks. I don't know about that, but shout out, The Romantic was a great album, so, we can complain there. Like we said, he was definitely cooking with a bunch of these tracks. I mean, at the end of the day, shout out. I guess, the one thing, again, that would be the argument would be, I still think you do. Bruno versus Michael versus, hey, yo, do we have to hit the chat GPT one more time? I mean, I feel like Michael's got him wiped down, chat. Hey, yo, it is what it is. Do we have to throw him in the push-ups verse? I don't know. Let's see what we got here. If we cue this up real quick, because I think, again, this is where I think it would be different now, and this is where it'd be like, oh, well, now you're making the case for Bruno Mars, saying he's a more versatile artist. I don't think so, because I would say you would also have the Jackson 5 career of MJ as well, too. But Bruno, again, did go a little bit more croonery, if we can say that, a little bit more, soulful, singery, there's some, just again, he's not like, again, Uptown Funk on this album, or 24 Karat Magic, and some of the level of some of those pop attempts. What's the one that I'm thinking of? That's What I Like is that's pretty dancey. But what's the one with Finesse? That's the one with Cardi B. That's the one that's pretty dancey. That one's fun for sure. But again, I would say Michael's commitment to like dance pop, if that's even the right genre that he was in, but his commitment to that, again, like we're seeing, Bruno has strayed a little bit, and now even his last two projects, like again, his collaborative project was, not necessarily all that. Not to say it was all, the album was definitely that. Ayo, he's him. Ayo, pause, like whatever you want to say there, but the album wasn't that in terms of it wasn't a dance pop album. Again, it was a updated Motown album. So I would say that, again, and maybe it's just the specific tracks that we go back to, but again, like Michael's just got a general just dance floor energy and not to say that, again, like we were saying earlier with Bruno Mars, obviously, there's tracks where, hey, yo, the booty is shaking, but you don't necessarily see the dance floor or like the, I've also been seeing this guy of these videos of this guy that's just been hiring this Michael Jackson impersonator to just show up at his house and just perform. And shout out whoever the MJ impersonator is, like he does a great jop. It is, the dance moves are, I can't even attempt to, hey, do the little shimmies. Hey, yo, Michael's signature shimmy, Jordan's signature shimmy. What are we talking about? But in the vocal riffs and stuff, like it's pretty funny. It's obviously you're copying one of the most talented, if not the most talented musician of all time. So there's real no copying, but for the impersonation there, it is a good job. But again, that's what I think of when I think of MJ versus, again, Bruno does have, again, some of the biggest songs of his career, like we're saying, and Uptown Funk is a song that feels like I guess it doesn't necessarily feel like, hey, is that a hot take? Uptown Funk doesn't seem like an MJ song. Do I have to play it right now and get an update? That's definitely like such a radio song that's almost a never cue it up on your own song. Though again, I guess it does have, like what we were saying earlier, it does get the 2 million. I guess this is where it is getting its 200 million streams right now. There's people being like, what does that song sound like? Even though I hear it all the time. I don't know. I guess, it does got those slaps in there. But I don't know, is that like a snare? Like those slaps in some of those MJ songs are just so, they're so infectious and they're so, I'm saying loud in a good way. Like they're just so loud and so dominant. And these are definitely there in this, the steady funk. But I mean, Bruno Mars, I love that we've called him Bruno like 17 times. It is what it is. But I don't know, Bruno Mars. Again, Peter, we just start calling him Peter Jean. Hey, yo. But he is a very, very talented vocalist in terms of, again, like how his voice legitimately sounds, obviously. But he does not, I would almost say now thinking about it, and maybe we have to go back again to his discography, but just listening to this track here as well too. Like, I'm only 30 seconds into the track, and the amount of vocal work that Michael would have packed into the amount of vocal work that Michael could pack into 30 seconds of a track is crazy. Like, I think I said a couple of live streams back that I've been bumping Remember the Time a lot. Shout out, of course. I've been just keeping the music video. I've been bumping the song, of course, a lot too. I mean, ayo, I guess, listening to the music in the video, listening to the music video in the car counts as bumping the song. But the music video has just been on repeat around as well too. And it's got, of course, Eddie Murphy, Magic Johnson's in the music video. Michael's just, a star at that point. I think that's one of the more expensive music videos as well too. So just a big set, big production value. It's just a fun one, obviously, with the old ancient Egypt setup there. But and again, just for any MJ song, it's his greatest, I guess, rank his greatest talent, but his greatest talent, was his ability to use his voice in all of those, like all of the different background type of ways over the song, over the tracks. And now thinking about it, I don't necessarily know how Bruno Mars has like used his vocals in that way. Again, like him singing on a song is really great. Like that's what separates an Ayo. Now we're getting really hot takey here, but in terms of, if we're just breaking down again vocal talent in the music, like that is what would separate Michael from an artist like Whitney. Like again, Whitney would have maybe a better pure voice, though again, Michael's pure voice as well too. It's just as good as, anybody's that's ever been. But the pure voice rankings, like obviously you can definitely make we might make the case that Whitney Houston has the greatest pure voice of all time. And there are some songs that the national anthem, the first one that comes to mind. But and obviously Whitney could have done a great halftime as well too. But you think about Michael doing the national anthem, like Whitney versus doing the national anthem, like that song doesn't necessarily. It almost discourages vocal riffs as well too. So some songs that are more straightforward in terms of they're more, I would say, performance based in the songs. Like again, point being, there are certain tracks and certain moments that obviously, Whitney's abilities and her voice would be better for the certain scenario. And, again, her ability to make a hit is just as good as Michael's ability to make a hit as well, too. I'm just saying that, his ability to have so many different vocal background layers going on was, obviously just infectious and crazy and just created a whole different new dynamic track, which, again, like, I feel like I don't even have to go to the Chat GPT after listening to 30 seconds of Uptown Funk, because as good as Uptown Funk is, again, like, what Michael would have done on any of these tracks is just insane. It's just insane. Like, Bruno Mars, again, can sing with the best of them. I don't know, like, is there, I guess, again, and I would need to know more about Bruno Mars's individual hits. Let me pull up 24K Magic here, because that is, of course, again, going in those dance vibes as well, too. That's what I like, I guess, is 3 Bill. Hey, yo, did we mention that already earlier? Because, again, like, doo-wops and hooligans here. Like, Grenade, Just the Way You Are. Again, he's singing on all of those tracks. So I guess, you can obviously make artist comparisons, I guess. Obviously, it doesn't have to just be same genre artists. Obviously, the Kendrick and Drake battle, they were comparing themselves to Prince and Michael, and they were obviously not necessarily in the same genres totally there. But again, I would not necessarily say that they're doing the same thing as artists. So again, if you want to compare, if you want to just, again, do the verses, then that's totally fine. But it would be like, it'd be like comparing 50 Cent and Nas or something in terms of like what are the artists, again, what are they doing in their careers? And again, there is ability for, the guys that, again, like, hey, bringing back Kendrick. Like, there are the people that can, the lyrical content and the hit making, and they make it all make sense. Jay-Z could obviously drop a hit with crazy, Tupac could drop a message-infused hit, obviously, and it could be crazy. There could be artists that could have, again, different lanes, and you can still compare them. But I'm just saying I'm just saying compare them with the knowledge that you're comparing different artists, if that makes sense. You're comparing a singer versus, a vocal genius. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But again, there is just genuinely no comparison. Maybe there is on smaller scales that I just don't know about. But, on a mainstream scale, I guess I might have to go start listening to the other, the Jackson 4 that are not Michael. Hey, yo. I guess now that with the Michael movie, about to drop as well too. Of course, we're just bumping everything. Chat, it is what it is. Oh man, are we excited? But I mean, that's gonna be, and I was, that's gonna be our movie for 2025. I guess it is what it is. Or 2026. It'll be about a year. Because I'm thinking ahead, but actually I'm thinking behind. Pause because it was last year. But I was thinking because it'll be about a year since I think I've been to a movie in the movie theater. Because the last movie that I did go to was, oh no, I keep forgetting that I went to Thunderbolts. Hey yo, again, I keep wanting to say that the last movie I went to in the theaters was Sinners, but no, I did go to see Thunderbolts in the theater. So that was like a July movie. So I guess maybe not quite, but we didn't get to see Predator Badlands in the theater. It is what it is. It's still bummed out. Every time I go to YouTube to see the free movies, they always promo Predator Badlands, and I'm like, is it free? And it's like, no, of course not free. Dropped in theaters like 6 months ago. It's not free on YouTube. Hey, yo. So, and I guess it's on Hulu. We need to just get Hulu. It is what it is. Just sign up and cancel Hulu for a month. I'll get Hulu for a month to watch Predator Badlands. It is what it is. I need to, catch up with the franchise. And maybe toss on, I guess they do have Fresh Prince on, they do have Fresh Prince on, I think, Hulu as well. Is that where it's streaming at? Because I feel like every time I go to throw that on again, it's like, of course I don't have Hulu, and I think Brown Sugar's on Hulu right now as well too. That's what I really wanted to watch. Hey, yeah, oh yeah, it is. Okay, shout out. Not always streaming, and I'm sure it'll eventually make its way back around to a service that we do have at some point. It's just only gonna be on Hulu, of course. It is what it is. Though I feel like we have watched. I've definitely watched. Maybe I just have only watched this on Hulu though. I don't know. The overlap of where I'm watching this doesn't always, you don't always know, but I feel like it's been on. It's had to have been on Pluto or something, a Tubi at some point. Hey yo, there's just no way that again, because I feel like I haven't had Hulu in a minute now as well too. But maybe Disney Plus or HBO, because it is part of that bundle. I don't know. Now we're just trying to figure out how to watch this movie. I just need to go buy the DVD. But I also need to go get, what other DVD was I looking for? New Jack City. That was one. But Cradle to the Grave. That's what it was. Okay, I knew. I was like, what? There was like a random action movie that Cradle to the Grave. I think that's gonna be a poll. If the bookstore / DVD used DVD store in the outdoor shopping mall across town, if that has Cradle to the Grave, that is gonna be quite the day. Or Demolition Man as well too. I don't know why just pulling this back up made me think of Demolition Man, because that's been free on YouTube. Shout out. But the Demolition Man DVD would be pretty sick. I actually think they might have had, maybe I'm getting flashbacks, because they might have had the Demolition Man DVD at that store last time, and I think I might have passed on it for the Blade. It is what it is. I guess it's not passed on it. It's just we chose the Blade. That's a Moreno versus Elway draft pick right there. I guess is Elway a little bit of a notch above Moreno? I'm not sure, but I think it's still a good pick either way, because that last run we got Blade and the Nutty Professor, but the Nutty Professor was the Nutty Professor 1 and 2, so I think it was the only version of the Nutty Professor 1, so I guess I have to double check this. Is Jada Pinkett in the second one? I have to double check that. Is it a continuation or what's going on? He's back playing the field again. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're watching the Nutty Professor 2 tonight. Okay, it is what it is. But yeah, I think they actually might. We should have just grabbed that Demolition Man, because the odds are Blade's got to be a little bit more popular than Demolition Man, right? Just as a comic superhero. I don't know if is Demolition Man based in comics? I don't know. Drake, why aren't you? You should be the Demolition Man. Hey yo, he's out here being Iceman and not George Gervin, and just Demolition Man's just sitting right there. It is what it is. Kendrick, there's your idea. The next album, Kendrick's gonna be Demolition Man. So, I mean, hey, yo, if Kendrick just did like a Simon Phoenix, can he rap from the perspective of Simon Phoenix? That would be insane. But I don't know. Could you just have Why has nobody had Wesley Snipes just feature on a track? I don't know why that just sounds cool, but because it is cool, just Wesley Snipes. But that just sounds cool. Hey yo, I don't know. Like, there's not. I guess any actor to some degree, but I don't know. There's like I feel like only a handful of actors that, because like with all due respect to Eddie Murphy, like, I guess at this point it would be cool getting Eddie Murphy on a track, but Eddie Murphy's like, he had a music career, so it's again, it's not like, oh wait, why is Eddie Murphy on this track? Like, it would be like, oh, Eddie Murphy's on this track? Like, what's Eddie Murphy? Like, there would be obviously that curiosity of what is Eddie Murphy doing on this track. But if you were like, if it was like, Big X the Plug featuring Wesley Snipes, you'd be like, what is Wesley Snipes doing on this track? Like, and you don't even have to have him rap. You can just have him do an interlude. Have him just be like, have him do an outro. Hey yo, he can just be like, he can introduce the track. He can do anything. It can be like Wesley Snipes is in the studio and he just like tells Big X the Plug to like press play, and just then the track goes. Like, it can just be anything. But it could be, they could say, obviously you could sample Blade. Hey yo, and just say featuring Wesley Snipes that way. But somebody needs to get featuring Wesley Snipes on it. We need to just put that into Spotify. Is featuring Wesley Snipes something that happens? Because like Dave Chappelle is like not randomly, but he's just in like a ton of songs, and there are a couple, like Big Sean's got one on his album that's just like featuring Dave Chappelle. And I guess here, if I just type, I guess I could just type in, what did I say, featuring Wesley Snipes, and we'll see what happens here. There is a Wesley Snipes artist page, but doesn't look like it has a picture or anything too serious. And there is what is this? Is this a new T.I. single? This was dropped on Sunday? Hey yo, not the new T.I. single, Let 'Em Know, newer T.I. single, Let 'Em Know, from this year. When did that drop? Yeah, January 18th. That's a slap. That one we have been bumping a lot lately as well. Maybe T.I. versus Michael Jackson. We have to do that versus instead of Bruno Mars versus Michael Jackson. But yeah, this song can you guys hear it in the background? Hey yo, this song is a good time. It is what it is. But there's a new one on here called War, and it's just a snippet, a 1 minute snippet. Is T.I. gearing up for an album release? We've got a snippet and a single. What's going on here? You didn't have the love for me? Well, I was just a loving child. Okay, shout out. So maybe T.I., I guess I'm now I don't even know what we're talking about. T.I. can maybe Wesley Snipes can get on this next T.I. album, if that's what's happening. But yeah, shout out. Or like, there's no way that Denzel, hasn't been featuring Denzel Washington. I gotta be honest though, and I know that Denzel's our guy. Like, obviously, hey yo, do we have to sit here and make the case that we like Denzel more than Wesley? I guess, obviously you don't have to choose. I'm just saying that, if we had to, would we pick Training Day? I think that's just our answer. If somebody says, would you rather, Denzel or Wesley Snipes? I just say Training Day. It is what it is. What do you want me to do? Training Day. Denzel was in Training Day. I didn't make that choice. He was in it, and it is what it is. I can't choose. So the facts are the facts. But so yes, Denzel's obviously better. But regardless, there is no Denzel Washington. Of course, does bring up the JID song "Work" because he does mention like Denzel Washington in the Book of Elijah, Moving West, and actually, Absol. Book of Eli does sneaky get some shout outs, because it is one of those Denzels though that, when did it drop? Like it's like a Denzel like from our time that, again, maybe it's not as good as like Training Day is obviously from our time as well too. I'm just saying, like, it's one of those newer Denzels that maybe if you grow up watching Denzel and you're just watching that as a kid, if you're able to watch that movie as a kid versus watch that movie as an adult, maybe you like it more. I don't know. But I think Book of Eli is good though. I haven't gone back to that one a lot. It has been on it had like a crazy TNT run there for a while. I'm just staring at the Training Day DVD. Now we have to decide Nutty Professor 2 or Training Day. We're gonna throw a DVD in tonight though. Why not? It is what it is. But yeah, he does. Here, I guess we can just get the lyric if we just click play here and get it right. JID. I can't attempt to like say JID lyrics outside of the song, because of course his cadence is impossible. Shout out, obviously a compliment. What does he say? And I would have gotten this one as well too. Are we at the point where it's like there's like a week buffer of us knowing a track? Like we'll know a song and then we can keep it in the brain for like 2 weeks, but then as soon as we learn another song, like it's like that song's gone. It is what it is. We can only like sing that song, rap that song when it's just being played. Otherwise, we're screwed. It is what it is. Obviously then you hear the beat and it's just like magically boom, like, oh, I got the lyrics. It is what it is. But I'm on 85 doing 95 and a 1952 Dodge. I didn't seem too see, Chad's impossible. I can't even read it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe I just can't read, but they can't get to me. Lord knew they tried, but like Denzel Washington in the Book of Elijah, moving blind and a little behind. And if you forget, here's a little reminder. I'm still chopping wood, still grinding, still rhyming, popping in. I be on Kill Timing. I mean, is that supposed to be like a Kill Tony reference or just Kill Timing? I don't know, but popping in, I'd be on Kill Timing. In the rough, I'm like a real diamond. In the cut, I'm like a chill climate. You want to see me? Cool, try me. I've been working on my attitude. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. I'm just reading Jed lyrics. Hey, yo, shout out Jed. It is what it is. Call in, shout out. But yeah, I think featuring Wesley Snipes would be that'd be the number one coolest feature for 2026. Denzel would be cool. I mean, obviously 1B as well, but for some reason right now the Blade CD is on top. I got the Scarface DVD is next. Like, why has nobody had Al Pacino just on a track? Like, how much would it cost to just be like, okay, if I sample this scene from Scarface, can I put featuring Al Pacino on the song? Because that would be sick. That would be sick. And then Eddie Murphy, again, a boomerang right there, too. Carlito's Way, Rise to Power. I don't know if you can get some of the cast of that featured in the track list. It is what it is. Did Bruno Mars have anybody from Carlito's Way, Rise to Power featured in the track list? I'm not sure. But, yeah, Wesley Snipes. Shout out. Somebody get him on a song in 2026. But, hey, yo, do we have to go back and take a quick look at I guess we don't even have to do an MJ versus Bruno Mars versus anymore, because like I'm saying, I guess not even track for track. It's not even a comparison talent wise. That's with all due respect. Like, Bruno Mars is in the next tier. Like, he's in the next tier. But is anybody on the, like, literally nobody is on the tier with him, and to be able to, again, just the full range of how he used his voice in a song. I guess if you want to then rank voices, like we're saying, that's a totally different argument. And that's such an extensive list as well, too. And I don't know, I don't know if we'd be equipped to talk about that. We're so focused on the mainstream as well that you start getting to a little bit more of the cuts, then we might not be able to fully, give you a proper list. But again, I doubt anybody was quite operating from a song structure standpoint the way that Michael Jackson was, in terms of how he was layering his vocals there. But yeah, and again, even Bruno's top hits, like, Die with a Smile is his biggest hit, but that's what I like. And Locked Out of Heaven, Just the Way You Are, and I Was Your Man, that's his top 4. Those are his 3 billion songs. And I mean, again, streaming wise, those are more than MJ for sure. But you've got, for his most streamed, his most streamed, Billie Jean, Beat It, Smooth Criminal, all at 1 billion, and then Rock With You at 831. So he doesn't have 4 at 1 billion, I guess. It is what it is. Again, time spent on Spotify. Obviously, Bruno, a current artist. The fact that MJ still has 61.7 monthly listeners. And I mean, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that he has that or the fact that Bruno has double. Again, it's close. I get it. And if you want to say, like, people obviously compare The Weeknd to some degree. I mean, everybody in the pop lane, ayo, are they Michael? Are they Michael? It is what it is. But, and is this now like the argument, nobody's compared to Prince? Hey, yo, I think it goes the other way. I think it's the gravity of MJ. Shout out. He's the MJ of music. Shout out. I mean, in both ways. The fact that he is the great like Michael Jordan, and he's great. Like, obviously he's the one in music as well too. Just again in terms of ability as well. Obviously, it is what it is. But I feel if we hour two, do we just start complimenting Michael Jackson? It is what it is. But the movie is we're dropping a movie, so hey, we're gearing up. Like we said, shout out. But I guess if we had to officially if we have to knock down an opponent before we get to the movie, let's see, Bruno Mars versus MJ versus, I guess, is what we're looking for here. And elite live singer, funk, R&B, pop, soul range, rarely misses live. MJ, instant recognizable tone, emotional delivery, signature ad-libs. But there's that iconic clip, I guess I'm going to call it iconic, but there's that iconic clip of him in the booth where he sings his part of the verse, and then it cuts to the people that he's on the track with, and they sing their part of the booth, their part of the verse. And again, they're in the booth, so there is, I guess, that post-processing factor that's going to go onto the track. Like, it's not the version of the voice that you're going to hear in the final song, but unfortunately for the other people in the booth as well too, they are just kind of legitimately bad in the moment they sing there. So it's probably not even, it might not be even the take that they used, or again, they might not be the best examples for comparing this person versus MJ. It's like, okay, well, they're just, they're doing their own thing anyways. But it's like, okay, MJ is again, an amazing live singer. It's just that he was so amazing as a, a vocal pop dancer, layery guy. And I guess that's just what he gravitated toward music to as well. Like, obviously he could have been on some of the live instrumentation stuff there, but that's not obviously well. And obviously, again, he's a star. He was a star hit maker as well too. He was trying to make music that everybody was going to listen to in a sense, but and I guess was just obsessed with getting people dancing like that. Hey yo, but voiced one of the most iconic ever performance dancing. James Brown energy, full band choreography, incredible showman for Bruno. Moonwalk, anti-gravity lean, literally changed pop performance forever for MJ. Hit records, peak versus peak. Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk, 24 Karat Magic, Locked Out of Heaven. That's what I like. Just the Way You Are. Silk Sonic Run was crazy too. Just a little note there from the chat GPT. I mean, again, it's not. I get it's close, but it's not. It's really not. It's close because of the kids run up these songs. Hey yo, shout out. They had crazy radio play, and I literally just don't want to be disrespectful, but in all honesty, it's not close. None of these songs are better than any of these songs, if that makes sense. If we're ranking these songs, it goes all of the Michael Jackson songs and then all of the Bruno Mars songs. It's just a fact. It is what it is. Billie Jean, Thriller, Beat It, Smooth Criminal, Bad, Man in the Mirror, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Those are all better than any Bruno Mars song. Again, with all due respect, those are better than most of anybody's ever songs, shout out. But Bruno, modern hitmaker, global phenomenon. Billie Jean versus Locked Out of Heaven. I mean, Billie Jean, 24 Karat Magic, Don't Stop Getting. Wait a second, is this making the call here? I guess I didn't realize that. So yeah, Billie Jean greater than Locked Out. 24 Karat Magic over Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I mean, maybe on the streams, but golly jeepers, chat. What are we doing here? I got work queued up twice. Oh, I queued up Rock With You. Hey yo. I mean, that one's great as well too. Did that one lose as well? It's just, they just made Off the Wall worse. So they're saying Off the Wall is worse than 24 Karat Magic as an album, because 24 Karat Magic lost to Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and that's what I like. Lost to Rock. Get out of here. Get out of here. I mean, you ask the real MJ fan, they might tell you that Off the Wall is better than Thriller. I don't know if they're right. I'm just saying that that's what they might say. I mean, they got Versace on the floor over The Way You Make Me Feel. Who's running the chat GPT over here? Is this Microsoft? Who is this? Hey, yo. Beat It over Grenade. Okay. Hey, yo. I mean, we're not going to debate it and be like, what are you doing here? Bad over Treasure, for sure. Just the Way You Are over Human Nature. I mean, hey, yo. I don't know what tracks get disrespected on Thriller. What's the one with, Paul McCartney. People hate on the speaking outro. It's funny. It's funny. You know what's okay to have on an album experience? Something that makes you laugh. It is what it is, and it's a dance album, so it doesn't laughing doesn't take you out of the vibe of the album as well too. And I think it's funny. I guess I don't remember it word for word, but it was what is something about hey that girl's mine, Michael. She said she never love another after me. So shout out. I don't know Paul McCartney and Michael. You didn't expect them to be going back and forth like that, but shout out. Michael was shout out. You couldn't leave your girl alone with Michael. It is what it is. But you got what did we say? Human Nature was the other track that I do people hate on that track? Do people hate on that track? I'm not sure, but it's not worse than Just the Way You Are. It is what it is. I mean, even just both as like vocal performances, just as vocal performances, it's not worse. Hey yo, Smooth Criminal is better than Finesse. That it can't even make an argument there. Like Finesse doesn't even have a streaming case. Shout out. I think it has a lot of streams, but I think Smooth Criminal literally has maybe more. Where Smooth Criminal, yeah, like Smooth Criminal is at 1 billion. Hey yo. So wait, let me go back and see if Finesse is at 2 as well. It might be. It just might be. It might prove me wrong. Okay, it's not in his top 10, so that's encouraging. It is what it is. But it did have Thriller over Uptown Funk. Okay, see, that's a battle, but it's not close. It's not close. To me, that's the closest one just because of the star power of the song Uptown Funk, but it's not close in the fact that I think it's going to win. It's just close because I think it's the biggest star power song. But, yeah, ayo, 24 Karat Magic over Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is, PU. We can smell that from here, Chad. Ayo, at least it says MJ wins 7-3 or 6-4, depending on taste. So, yeah, it's not close. It's not close. Bruno plus Anderson .Paak versus MJ? No. There's really nobody, I guess, that you probably could do a versus with MJ, unfortunately. It is what it is. But just to prove the point, it's Bruno is not one of them, I guess. It is. I guess shout out to Bruno. Bruno, I mean, call in and defend yourself. It is what it is. But I guess just me personally, I think that it's really not close. I don't think there is a proper sports comparison for it because, and again, and like in the NFL, obviously there is nobody at this point that is necessarily close to Brady from an all-time. So I don't know if that means I was way off or whatever, but either way, like, we do have to admit to ourselves that Mahomes did like get close. Did he fly too close to the sun and now his wings have melted off and he tore his ACL? Like maybe. Hey yo, Patrick Icarus Mahomes, is that what we call him? Is that the right guy? I guess I don't know. I just the Odyssey, Icarus. Can't get the stories right. Which one is Christopher Nolan directing? But maybe if he takes on the guy going to the sun next, that'd be crazy. That'd be like Oppenheimer and the Odyssey combined. It'd be like the Icarus flies to the sun, but it's an atomic explosion that melts his wings. There we go. Boom. Christopher Nolan's next film. I mean, there we go. We just Christopher Nolan, AI'd that for him. The Christopher Nolan GPT. Shout out. But now we talk about it's such a good idea. I forgot what I was talking about. Hey, yo. But it is what it is. Regardless, shout out MJ. Oh, for the NFL, for Brady. Like, the reason that Mahomes did get close is because, and again, obviously, Mahomes has not had the career that Brady has had. Obviously, Mahomes has maybe not quite had the career that Joe Montana has had. Maybe there's not many other guys after that. But Mahomes can still, at the peak of his powers, or could, however you want to say it. But regardless, the best version of Pat Mahomes can physically do things, on the football field that Tom Brady can. And there is a lot of guys, of course, in NFL history that, Ayo can do things from the quarterback spot that are Brady, but not really as well, too. Like, there are guys that have individual aspects of the game that are better than Brady. It's like, I guess, if you just want to say straight up, like, there are guys that were faster than Brady. Ayo, does that make him a better quarterback? Obviously not. And again, is that just one aspect of the game compared to the Brady just accuracy overall and the clutchness late in the games is going to be outweighing the fact, again, that maybe a guy is just a little bit more athletically gifted in some cases. But, I guess I was going to say, like, I was trying to think of cold squad, like Anthony Richardson, obviously fast, but like, was Jim Harbaugh? No, he wasn't like crazy fast. The Colts haven't had a lot of fast quarterbacks. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But like Fran Tarkington running around back in the day, like was Fran Tarkington, faster, more elusive than Tom Brady? But, again, like that's just one aspect of it versus Brady is just so far and away the better quarterback because of the totality of everything that of his career and the totality of everything that Michael Jackson was able to do sonically with his voice is just, again, like crazier than, Bruno Mars. It is what it is. Don't go out there saying that Bruno is close to Michael when the REMINGTOM pod is live. It is what it is. We get a little feisty about that. Shout out. But yeah, either way, the album itself is great. And we're not taking away from the album. We're just saying settle down. And I feel like with music, the overreactions are definitely like that. I was trying to think of the sports comparison for it, and I just thought about it just now. I think because I don't think it happens as much in the pros, but in college, when a team wins, I mean, of course, we just have this with Indiana right now in college football. When a team wins, they a lot of times immediately go into, where does this team rank all time in terms of every team that's ever won a national title. And then, sometimes it goes the dramatic extreme way where it's like, they just won the title. Is Indiana the best college team to ever play college football? 16-0, 17-0, shout out. Again, it's like, actually, it takes 30 seconds to recall 2000 and whatever Miami, and it's like, yeah, wait, they had Ed Reed and who? I mean, it's like you had Ed. I mean, that's how good Ed Reed is. You have Ed Reed alone, and then that's just a better football team than the entire Indiana Hoosiers roster. Ed Reed's the best football player ever, but it is what it is. But yeah. Anyways, for again, like college basketball, they'll have that argument a lot. It's is this the most talented college basketball team to ever win a college basketball championship? I guess maybe not, again, with UConn the last couple of years. So college football maybe has had some of the more recent cases for that, because you have had, of course, going back to just since 2019 LSU. I mean, you think that 2019 LSU team, then those Georgia defenses that won the national title, then that Michigan team, obviously, the greatest team of all time, and then this Indiana team as well too, being a historic team. I think the Ohio State team from last year was good, but they weren't necessarily like, against this is the best team that's ever graced the field of college football. Hey, I mean, they did lose to Michigan before the national championship game. But regardless, I think that there is a little bit of that, or a lot of that, with the music stuff, of course, to the degree where it's like, again, Bruno Mars drops down. It's like immediately, like, well, Bruno Mars is better than Michael Jackson. It is what it is. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, we're just going there after one listen of The Romantic, I guess. Shout out. But, again, with, like, the fall off with J. Cole, or, I guess that's probably the most recent, like, prestige project. I don't know if necessarily, I guess ASAP as well, too. I don't know if Don Toliver's working in the same, again, like, Grammy lane as a guy like J. Cole. But it's just like, even before the fall off drops, it's just like, this is going to be one of this, this has got to be one of the 7 best albums of all time. And I guess the sports version of that would be maybe, again, like the draft, like hyping guys up. Like, is Wemby's going to be he's going to be the best offensive and defensive player by his 3rd year. But regardless, I would say the album drop compared to like a good album drop compared to like a good season. I don't say like every good season, we walk away being like, is that the greatest season of all time? Is this guy the greatest of all time? Like, I feel like there is we do kind of know it when we see it. Hey, yo, NBA, NBA, MVP, I don't know, what the right acronym is there. But, yeah, either way, shout out again to a great Bruno Mars project that we really enjoyed, and keeps the fire alive for the 2026 music rotation here. That has been, it really, again, just one of the great starts of the year. I don't know where, again, if we're doing the rankings, but just if we're, just acknowledging how much fun we're having listening to music right now, that is a fact. It is what it is. There is, a very, obviously, looking at a very steady, consistent stream pause of mainstream releases that have been delivering consistent projects and with fun rollouts as well too, like fun hype. I think again, the community's been extreme with some of the stuff, but like again, at least the positive extremity is good versus, I guess, again, like this sucks. Like, this is the worst album ever. Like, again, it's like, okay, somebody got caught up in the moment and said, again, like they were really loving this and, they loved it more than one other artist's work. Like, again, all a matter of opinion. But, again, the community is, for the most part fun as well too right now. Like, again, Ayo, like, we all know who the greatest, of all time is, I guess, pop artist of all time. I guess, again, like, it just depends on how you want to rank it. I don't even know really what we were debating there for Michael. It's just, again, his vocal talent, I guess. Again, I guess to me, I guess, again, however you want to rank it, you're not ranking MJ below Bruno Mars. So I guess now we're being the non-positive ones. It is what it is. Now we're just Drake on, we're just Kendrick on diss track. Ayo, it is what it is. But, I can shout out Drake. That's the biggest win for Drake since the beef, is that we mentioned him first there when talking about diss tracks. It is what it is. But, yeah, Ayo, again, shout out to Bruno Mars. Shout out to the old producers. I don't know. Who do we shout out over there? It is what it is. Good job. But we will be back Sunday. The Path to the Draft series. Ayo, hopefully we didn't steal that from anybody. It is what it is. But we will be back looking at draft prospects on Sunday, watching film, watching NBA, having a good time, hanging out here on the YouTube. Of course, you can follow us here on the podcast feeds. You can send us a message over at REMINGTOM on Instagram if you want to connect with us that way. Again, like we said, Bruno's going to DM, he's going to DM us to defend himself in the case versus him as, the greatest vocalist of all time. So if you guys want to get in the conversation with Bruno Mars there in our DMs, Ayo, shout out. You guys can jump in the messages there, and we will, see what's going on. But yeah, we'll be back Sunday. We'll be back Tuesday. Sunday, Tuesday, Friday is the schedule that we try to stick to here. So, we made it back for the Friday one. Thankfully, IT was, IT showed up today. Shout out. But we'll be back Sunday, Tuesday, and if you are here for the Friday ones only for some reason, what are you doing? But no, of course, shout out. But we will be back again next Friday as well too. But yeah, if you are able to join us Sunday for the next one, we look forward to seeing you then. Enjoy your week.